Christine Lisi. Plenty of smiles today as the Jets introduced new quarterback Aaron Rodgers. He explained part of the reason he wanted to play for New York, the coaching staff, and his familiarity with offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett from their days in Green Bay. Also called himself an old guy, happy to be part of a team with a chance to win it all. He told reporters starting tomorrow he'll be part of the Jets' offseason program. Rodgers was also asked if he will play for New York beyond this season.
Right now I'm just going to focus on this season, and I'm excited about being here. I expect to be here for the duration of the offseason, and I'm excited to get to know my new teammates and the coaching staff and the organization. And obviously I have a background with Coach Hackett and that offense, but I'm excited about just diving in and being a part of this group.
Aaron Rodgers, NBA Clippers forward Kawhi Leonard diagnosed with a torn meniscus. He and the team will decide on the course of treatment within the next 2 weeks, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Leonard missed the final 3 games of the first-round playoff series against the Suns with what the team had called a right knee sprain.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
It is The Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and you can hear The Sportsocracy everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. See us live on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. See us live. You can also see all of our team-by-team mock draft content in your feed once you subscribe to the channel. And you'll get those live alerts when we go live for each and every pick of the 2023 NFL Draft starting tomorrow night.
It's Draftmas Eve! Oh, Draftmas Eve, oh, Draftmas Eve. I am delusionally tired. I started doing math of how much I've slept over the last 5 days. And when I didn't break double figures in 4 days, I went, well, that's just caffeine. Here we go.
At ESPN Draft Nerd, Jeremy Greene has all of the prognostications set. The submission into the media contest, the mock draft has been submitted.
It is done. And there are some surprises. There are a few guys that don't go quite where you might want them to. One team doubles up on a position with 2 picks. One of those picks is not in the place that they are currently picking. And Tank's Tampa Bay Buccaneers make the splash of the draft. And I want it to happen so bad.
It could be a fun draft night, and you can join us live at 51 North Merriman Avenue. We'll be at the Village Porch, the football central for the Sportsocracy. We'll be live tomorrow night on YouTube and at the bar, so you can come by and join us for a beverage or two. Enjoy all of the draftmas with us. Friday night we'll be there as well. And then we'll have all the coverage live on YouTube, live from Jeremy's living room on Saturday. Because let's face it, you don't need a deep dive. You don't need a all-together party for the deep divey third day.
Well, there's just a lot that goes into the third day. We have a slew of surprises for you. If you really wanted to get into our battle for the belt last year and you didn't have the opportunity, either you didn't know who we were, whatever the case may be, we are going to debut this year's battle for the belt in day 1 of the draft.
Yes.
And if you think it was big last year, we've added just a whole mess of new stuff. So excited. See, for me, this is like, I told Amy this last night. This is what people feel when they – because I've always – one of those things that's always mystified me is when you go to a festival or when we go to the Asheville Championships at the Harris Cherokee Center, and you look at these things that take a full year to put together, and it's all of the things. This is that, because virtually everything of our whole year, it cultivates at the draft. So for me, it's just so exciting. And it also means that there is a great darkness retreat in my future.
Speaking of darkness retreats, he has awoken. He's out of the darkness and now into the big lights of the big city in New York. Aaron Rodgers unveiled today as an official member of the New York Jets. Jets.
It was good.
It
was good. I enjoyed every second of it.
And if you didn't like Joe Douglas before today, after hearing him tell SNY after the press conference that he was sitting up there and he felt like Ricky Bobby, he didn't know what to do with his hands.
I'm actually
you should like him more now.
I'm reasonably sure Joe Douglas and I were separated at birth. We're related somehow.
But Joe D made the move. He got it done. Aaron Rodgers is now a New York Jet. And how does it make you feel, Jeremy Greene, when you hear your new franchise quarterback, at least for the next few years, say, that Super Bowl III trophy looks a little lonely?
Well, yeah. That's kind of like somebody saying, hey, that grass is awful green. That sky's awful blue. Today's awful Wednesday. No kidding. Look, I mean, it was what it was. You know, Aaron comes in, and I thought it was cool that every person that spoke, Rich Samini, our buddy from ESPN National, every one of them, he said, you know, hey, Rich, or nice to meet you. And I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a problem in the New York media. I haven't the entire time. And I think today really just showed that. You know, you get up in front of all these guys, and he didn't want to talk about Green Bay, which that's encouraging to me.
Classy.
I know somebody's going to say, well, you're only saying that because your Jets traded for it. I don't really understand what it is that's so – I get why he annoys you. Mm-hmm. I don't really understand what it is that you want him to do. He's a weird guy. This is a weird guy.
Showed up to his first Jets meeting today, barefooted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Said he's already feeling at home. He just showed up barefooted.
Just hanging out like, we're doing stuff. We can go surfing later.
Right. I get it. He's a weird guy. But it's always been the cockiness that people rankle at.
And I get it. I just, as a Jets fan, I think I have all rights to be excited. I am excited. Mm-hmm. And it's a good time. Today is the most hope I've had as a Jets fan in many, many years. And I think that's all I could really ask for.
Mm-hmm. And again, on the on what did it cost us? This is not the Thanos thing. This is not everything. It cost you very little, in my opinion. First round pick, it's nothing to sneeze at, but it was worth it. It was worth it to go after the trophy. Aaron Rodgers has got his sights set on winning one for the New York Jets. He said, "Look, I'm an older guy, and I wanted to go somewhere where I felt like I had a good chance to win one, and New York is the place."
No doubt.
Never heard anybody say that in the history of their lives.
Hey, we've been good in the past, okay? But yeah, I mean, it's good. This is the first time I've ever looked at this Jet franchise and said, from the top down, you got it. There are 4 very important things when it comes to building a Super Bowl level franchise. Do you have the owner that is willing to spend the money and turn things over to the football people? I can definitively say yes with Woody Johnson. Do I have the GM in place that can draft the team, hit the pieces? I can definitively say yes with Joe Douglas. Do I have the quarterback? I can definitively say yes with Aaron Rodgers. Then it comes to Robert Saleh. Do I definitively know he's the coach? No. But, man, he looks the part. Mm-hmm. When you see something like today and he's sitting up on the podium, he looks like the coach, and that GM believes in him, and that owner believes in him, and that quarterback believes in him. And it was super obvious. And I don't know if you got the same read on this that I did. I felt like Aaron just looked different.
Yeah.
He looked relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was almost like this dark cloud had been hanging over his life for however long, and now he just looks like, I'm playing with house money here, boys. I'm a first ballot Hall of Famer. If I win a Super Bowl with the New York Jets, they're going to build a 500-foot statue of me that's taller than this stadium. And there's something to be said for that.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about that yesterday, but I definitely think there's something to be
sitting there in his New York Jets polo. He did have that. Normally he has that like rugged kind of look to him, like he just got done with the ayahuasca tea. Or
he just got out of a methadone clinic, or he just came off Con Air, or whatever you want to say. Right. He usually looks a little road hard and Left for Dead.
I mean, he was looking spiffed up. You could tell he cared about the first impression that he made with the New York media. I feel like you are going to get MVP level Aaron Rodgers.
I do too.
Out of this. We said 2 years ago he's on the Screw You Tour. And
I think he's back.
And then it was Screw You Tour Part 2 with the other MVP season. Then last year didn't go his way. And honestly, you can say it's a character red flag if you want to. He gave up. I honestly believe he did not try as hard as he possibly could to make that work last year.
Well, that was another part of this, is he said, I plan on being around for the offseason. I'm here and I ain't leaving.
100%.
That pretty much told me everything I wanted to know.
I will be here through the entire offseason. I want to get to know these young players. I want to make it work, something that Green Bay didn't get out of him last year.
But, boys and girls, it is Draftmas Eve. And we have talked about Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers. That's not what today is. Today is a Draftmas Eve gift. And it's a gift for you, the listener of this here show, because we just got all the things. In the 4 and 5 o'clock hours, we're going to tell you the player you don't want to see your team draft. And now it's not going to be, well, they shouldn't take Stetson Bennett at 2. No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
No, these are actual guys that you've either talked to, shown some interest in, draft could fall this way. This is what you don't want to see. Also, 3:35, platinum recording artist Brett Young, who will be performing at the Harrah's Cherokee Center, Asheville, tomorrow night during the draft. So if you hate the draft, there's something to do. We've got several lucky listeners that will be going to that show because they interacted with our social media postings over the course of the last week. And when we talk about your team, we want to answer your questions. So in our YouTube chat, throw out those questions. We are going to talk about all 32 NFL teams today.
Yes, indeed we will. Tomorrow we will have a 2-hour Draftmas Day special.
Oh, and I guess we should announce the thing that we just learned before the show. This is like a record-breaking week for us. Not only will this be the first time that you were able to watch the draft with us live, Friday, you'll be able to come take in this here program live because we're doing that live from the Village Porch.
Yes, we will.
Now, that was because we realized you do know we have to take all this down to go do the other show. So if we could cut out a middleman, that'd be great.
Right.
So our show will be live from the Village Porch tomorrow night for the Draftmas, Friday night for the second day of Draftmas, and for the ESPN Radio Show on Friday.
Yep, Friday afternoon, 3 to 6,
Boom.
Live from the Village Porch, so you can come by and hang out with us during the radio show, and then, of course, hang around for the fun on day 2 of the 2023 NFL Draft. Okay, we've already been asked to talk about this in the comments, so let's twist here, because do you remember yesterday when we did that little daily draft at the top of the 5 o'clock hour, and we were talking about fifth-year options? And I said I would pick up the fifth-year option on Chase Young if I were the Washington Commanders. Well, it didn't take a full day for the story to come out that the Washington Commanders are not doing that. They are not going to pick up the fifth-year option on Chase Young.
I'm shocked this many of you are surprised. I really am. I'm shocked this many of you are surprised.
Okay.
You played 9 games in 2 years, and you're shocked somebody will pay you $17 million. Really?
I'm shocked that you wouldn't do it just to keep the talent in the building.
For $17 million.
Mm-hmm.
Drunk. That's the reason I laughed at you when you took him yesterday.
If he can have,
he wasn't even on my list.
If he has a fully healthy season, he can earn more than that.
Correct. You gonna earn it?
Did you not say just yesterday when we were talking about this?
I said I would
end up in the
probably
situation where you don't pick up the option on Daniel Jones, and then you have to pay him more than you would have paid him.
I said I would probably ultimately do it, but I would understand if they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because Chase Young is flirting with busty territory. Now, if he comes out and has 17 sacks this year, okay, that bit you in the old tookus.
Mm-hmm.
If he comes out and plays 6 games, then wise. Because I'll be honest with you, if that happens, what does he get on the open market?
10?
I don't think he'd sniff that.
Really?
Not even close. In my little scenario, you would have not played a full 17-game complement of games in 3 years combined. No, that's $5 million prove-it deal. So, no, I completely got why they did it. He's going to play on that deal, and he's going to bet on himself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think he's going to have a bounce back? Absolutely I do. If you're a Washington Commander fan, I guarantee you when we're doing our mock draft, which is at 4 o'clock tomorrow, preempted the first hour by the Braves,
right.
2 hours of Draft Miss Spectacular. You're going to like what you got. I guarantee it. And I feel pretty good that that's who you're going to think.
Mm-hmm. Chase Young's high side is still a top 5 edge rusher in this league, correct?
Yes. His high side is close to that. I mean, this is a guy that's got 9 sacks in his career. Let's see. Pennywise said yesterday, calling him a bust is insane. I think calling him a bust right now is insane. He is pivoting on to that. He has another year where he's hurt, and okay, now we have slid full on into bust station. But he has the chance to prove it. Now, does it shock me they don't want to throw high-end money at that? No, it really doesn't. And that was the point of yesterday's daily draft. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, there's probably not 10 options going to be kicked in that class. One of the guys in that class is in jail. Actually, 2 of the guys in that class are in jail. 4 of them are no longer with the team that drafted them. I think it's safe to say, outside of that top 5, shoo buddy, that got ugly in a hurry. And, yeah, I mean, I get it.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. I understand you wanting to be, what's the word, conservative here. But the high side to me of Chase Young is still so much that I probably would have done it. I probably would have pulled the trigger on it because I don't want to risk losing him. Which I don't know.
Well, you're not going to lose it. If he has that year, you'll franchise him. And guess what? That ain't going to cost that much more.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Ingles, we know that big dreams don't always make it to the big leagues. But we also know that baseball, it's family. It's about building character. And as sure as there'll be some stumbles on that journey from first to home, we'll be right there, cheering you on. This is baseball, and this is who we are. Ingles. We're with you every step of the way.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
You are invited to dinner with us. Hello, my name is Stan Asher, lead pastor of Connection Point. I want to invite you to come and find hope, encounter truth, and experience love. We invite you to join us every Wednesday evening, 6:15 p.m. for a free meal followed by small groups, life-relevant Bible studies for every age group at 7 p.m. We also have an exciting children's ministry. We are located at 142 Elk Mountain Road, Asheville, North Carolina, 28804. Check us out on the web to learn more at connectionpointcog.org. We'll be looking for you.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, "Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing." Or this one, "I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats, and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better," unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
This is the Sportsocracy. We are in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville. A happy Draftmas Eve to you all. And this is just a PSA for all of you folks who love golf. Golf can be a dangerous sport.
Yeah, don't play it in lightning. It's a really bad idea.
Indeed. But there can be freak accidents that happen in every sport, no matter the level of physical activity that is involved.
I'm really curious where you're headed with this.
This is a story that I found on the New York Post. It was in the health section, where a 16-year-old Utah boy went out. He went golfing. He had the freakiest of accidents, says the article, after, well, he hit his ball. He went to find it. When he found it, he bent over, and he lost one. So apparently, when he bent over, he popped one of his boys.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So he said he bent over to get the golf ball, and then he felt this really acute pain in his groin while leaning over to retrieve it. When the teen inspected his nether regions, he was horrified to discover that his left boy was not in its usual spot. He was quite alarmed over this, went to a Salt Lake City hospital, where he reported feeling, quote, ongoing mild abdominal pain with persistent nausea. The doctors administered painkillers. They did some digging, not literally, but looking at the CT scan, and they found out that it had gone back up inside. I didn't even know that was possible.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it is. This kid has been I don't know if suffering is the right word, but he's had a condition since he was 11 years old where it can just apparently pop in and pop out of the little canal in between your bag and the insides. I'm just saying, it's scary. It's another reason to stay off the golf course.
So I feel like Bill Nye the Science Guy just slid into doing a science show because he was kind of goofy and he knew science. You did not just slide into doing your own medical show with your tank avoids using any medical term analysis.
You know, you never know when kids are listening. You don't want to say the wrong thing.
That sounded like you were playing a game of charades. One of my new favorite things is that on one of my favorite shows in this here medium, the Pat McAfee Show, they have added a man that solely goes by a nickname, and that nickname, in the words of the great Tom Segura, is Pac-Man Jones. Adam Pac-Man Jones. Pretty well connected in NFL circles. Well, he had a report today. And now there have been conflicting reports, and I want to use this segment before we bring in Brett Young to elaborate on something I've been asked about a lot over the last few days. Pac-Man Jones believes that DeAndre Hopkins will be traded in the next 48 to 72 hours to either the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs. If you've been listening to this program for any period of time, you would know that I have been telling you DeAndre Hopkins is going to wind up playing for either the Kansas City Chiefs or the Buffalo Bills. Now, there is a lot of Dov Kleiman, just different things on Twitter. Their Baltimore Ravens are getting close. Let me say this as clearly as I can. As of, check the old phone, 4 minutes ago, no, they're not. That's what I got. It doesn't make any sense to me because it completely flies in the face of what I have been told, which is that they're going to draft a receiver tomorrow night. The thing I don't understand is why would you add a 31-year-old receiver as you're getting ready to have to pay the quarterback? You've already done this once with Odell Beckham.
Right.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense in Baltimore for me. You got Odell, go get Quentin Johnston or Zay Flowers or one of those guys and bring along Rashad Bateman. I ain't paying DeAndre Hopkins. And that's basically what they said from the jump because Lamar wanted them both. They said, we'll get you one. They got Odell. Now you go get a rookie. I have been told the DeAndre Hopkins thing is going to happen, and don't be shocked if it is a pick swap with the Buffalo Bills and the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona picks, I think, at 34 in the second round.
Okay.
Don't be shocked if Buffalo sends 27 to Arizona, 34 comes to the Bills. Arizona gets that fifth-year option.
That would be the equivalent of a
third-round pick.
Third-round pick.
I would give credit to – I saw it on Twitter, too, from somebody, but I've been told the same thing behind the old closed doors.
The one that I saw was from 105.7's Rita Manfred, who has been a Baltimore Ravens insider for years. She's broken several big Ravens stories in her career, and she's one that put it out on Twitter that the streets are saying that D-Hop could be a Raven very, very soon. That the deal's not done, but that they're close.
Yeah. Not what I'm hearing, but hey, the Buffalo interest, could that spur Baltimore on? Maybe. Not really sure how you're going to make that work under the cap. But then again, the New York Jets had $8 million in cap space, and somehow, without moving a soul, they got Aaron Rodgers under it. So, as we often say here, the numbers are made up and the cap don't matter.
Yep, and if you think this is not gonna, there's not gonna be a long-term deal with Lamar, maybe this is a way to get him back just for the franchise year.
Yeah, I mean, now I will say, and I'll use that phrase, the streets are saying that the Lamar Jackson deal there has been movement to the good. I'm not telling you it's going to get done today. I'm not saying it's going to get done tomorrow. I was as I did my due diligence on my official submission to the media mock draft contest, it was specifically said, don't take a quarterback with Baltimore because it ain't gonna happen. Which left Anthony Richardson just out there for a forward-thinking team to make a move. And tomorrow I'll tell you who that team is.
Yeah, tune in tomorrow at 4 o'clock here on ESPN Asheville for the final mock draft from Flostradamus, Jeremy Greene. We'll have all 31 first-round picks, his official entry into the media contest. we will reveal all of the final picks to you tomorrow, 4 to 6, right here on ESPN Asheville.
Mike Baker, wonderful fan of this here program, and Kansas City Chiefs fan, said Diop's not going to the Chiefs, too old, too much money. I'm glad you said that because I might have buried a little bit of lead there. Kansas City is really hot to trot on one specific wide receiver. The only way they would pursue DeAndre Hopkins is if they missed that and Arizona took some of the money. So things would have to go the wrong way. I'm leaning to Buffalo. That's where I've actually heard this is what the trade's going to look like. Baltimore, I can't figure that out.
Yeah. We are the Sportsocracy. You can follow us on all of the social medias, and you ask the question, why should I do that? Well, because you may have missed your opportunity to go see a multi-platinum country recording artist tomorrow night. Yes, we get it's draft night. We're going to be busy, but
hey, you never know. I think Brett Young needs to come have some domestic lights with us for the draft.
We have 5 lucky followers who are going to be in attendance at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, tomorrow night as Brett Young brings his music to town, and he was kind enough to spend some time with us, sit down and talk about his music and his interesting history in the sports world. You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. We'll touch base with Brett Young next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain on weather radar cruising up from the southwest. We're in the mid-40s tonight, and we've got several more days of this kind of weather. Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. I think more rains in the Sunday forecast. Showers tonight, 46. Showers tomorrow, 63. And scattered thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 74 degrees. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG. Hot and crisp nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, but they won't be here forever. Yeah, hot and crisp fries covered in bold Mexican spices with a side of nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Cleaning the inside of your house is easy, but the outside is where most people need a little help. WNC Wash Pros are the highest rated exterior cleaning company in North Carolina with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Whether you need your walkways pressure washed or the outside of the house scrubbed clean, we will kill all organic growth to preserve your paint and extend the life of your roof with our gentle and soft approach. Call us at 828-560-WASH or visit our website at WNCWashPros.com for a free estimate today.
Progressive presents an ad from Mom.
When you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, bundle, that's a cute word. What? Read it again? Okay. When you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you get round-the-clock protection. Oh, that's darn good. Because once my older sister Dottie, her basement flooded.
Get round-the-clock protection when you bundle and save with Progressive. It's easier than getting your mom to make this radio ad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
Hey y'all, this is Måneskin.
Hey, what's up? This is Fall Out Boy.
What's up? This is Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
It's iHeartRadio. The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
I can never hate you, even if I try.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Okay, so we turn down the music just a little bit, set the mood here, because tomorrow night at the at the Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, Brett Young, multi-platinum country singer, songwriter, award-winning author. You got a children's book that's come out as well, and ball player. All of it. He's done it all in his life. Brett Young coming to Asheville, and welcome into the program, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. I like that you still call me a ball player. It makes me feel like I haven't been removed from it for like 20 years, because it doesn't feel like 20 years.
It never does. I find that out the older and older I get, and you and I are about the same age. The older and older we get, it's like, well, that wasn't too long ago, was it?
Yeah, then you pick up a baseball and try to throw it, and you go, that was a long time ago.
Yes, yeah, it was. Well, Brett, you've come a long way since your college baseball playing days. Actually, was drafted by in the Major League draft twice. Tampa Bay Rays, and who was the other team that drafted? The Minnesota Twins.
The Twins, yeah. That was back when the only time you were allowed to talk to a prospect was if they were still in high school, because once you were in college, you couldn't go kind of negotiate.
Right.
And so I was talking to teams while I was still a junior in high school, they just I just didn't see the point in skipping college at the time. Now I maybe wish I would have taken it, but I didn't, so I went to school instead. Right.
All right. Well, I mean, you made a pretty good second career for yourself.
Yeah, as far as fallbacks go, I don't regret anything. I use music as kind of a coping mechanism, because I was depressed about baseball, and the next thing I knew, that coping mechanism turned into the fallback career, and I wouldn't change anything for the world at this point.
All right, so I have to ask, you are one of the most differently abled people I've ever met to answer a question that I have long had. So I was a comedian, and now I'm a talk show host, and I was a really bad athlete for a period of time. You have been at the highest edges of athletics and music. What is the difference between standing in front of a crowd of thousands singing your songs and standing in front of that crowd throwing 98-mile-an-hour fastballs?
I thought long and hard about this, and it's the reason I'm glad it worked out the way it did. And I was just actually in Boston last week, because my buddy Justin Turner went from the Dodgers to the Red Sox, and we played in Boston. I got to see him, and he asked me that. And the fact of the matter is, one thing that I always hated about baseball is I could do exactly what was asked of me as well as I'm capable of doing it in the height of my career. And if the hitter guesses right, I could still lose.
Yep.
If I go out on a stage and I sound good, I sound good, I sound good, I sound good. I'm only competing with myself on stage. So that's one thing that always – I had a game my sophomore year in college where I had transferred from Ole Miss to a junior college because I knew I wanted to move to a D1 school in California. And I had a game against Golden West College. I was playing for Irvine Valley. And I didn't know that they had picked my pitches, but they had picked my pitches. So they knew they were getting the calls from the dugout from my pitching coach.
Mm-hmm.
I had my best stuff I've ever had. And I gave up like 7 runs and was knocked out in the first inning. That's something that can't even happen. Music can't ever do that to you.
Now, how many of those players or managers went on to join the Houston Astros?
They weren't banging trash cans, if that's what you're asking. That's just an example though of like you can be on your game and lose in baseball. If you're on your game in music, those people that bought a ticket to come see you are really happy with it, and I love that. I still feel the responsibility to be on every night, but knowing that they already bought your ticket, they're here to see you. If you're on, they're gonna be happy. And I like that. I like the kind of reliability of that.
I totally reserve the right to use what you just said, because one of my favorite or one of the stories that gets told around here the most is that I played against Steph Curry. He scored a lot on me. And from here on out, I'm going to say I had my best stuff. It's just nobody talks about it because they beat us 100-12. And he's Steph Curry, and I'm a fat comedian.
I love it. Well, I tell the same story about high school basketball because Baron Davis dunked on me and knocked me over in the process when I thought I had hustled down court to get it like an open court rebound on a missed layup, and he just came soaring over the top of me. And I said the same thing. I'm like, I did everything right. And I was basically giving him a piggyback ride at the end of it after he dunked on me. So I feel that for sure.
Now, you said you originally used music as your coping mechanism for no longer having the baseball career. You know, suffered an elbow injury, just couldn't go any further than Fresno State. That is one of the hardest things that athletes have to deal with. Digging yourself deep into the music like that. I mean, do you think spurred extra success or more success from you?
That's a great question. I definitely leaned on it because I grew up in a Christian home. My dad's a pastor and went to Christian high school, and I led worship. So I was playing and singing before I went to college to play baseball. It was always something that I loved, but in that position, it's not a performance tool. It's kind of, you're supposed to be on the back burner. As a leader, you're supposed to almost be invisible. So that's the opposite of becoming a performer. And I just started picking up the guitar again because I just needed to figure out what was next. I think more so than that, I think that the athlete in me found music as like another challenge. Like the same way that I wanted to outwork everybody on the baseball field. I think that the music thing it went from, okay, this is a coping mechanism, but I think I'm pretty good at this. I think I see a bunch of lazy people that in Los Angeles now that I've moved home that think they deserve something. And I think I'm willing to outwork them, and their whole mentality of this, I deserve this and this is meant for me, while they're not doing anything about it. I'm like, I think I can work circles around them. And that's kind of how I approached it once I realized that it wasn't just a coping mechanism. It was my next chapter.
How do you know when you've hit on a song? Like, is it like discovering the new pitch?
I do remember it when I learned a slider. I didn't learn to throw a slider until my first year at Fresno State. We had just gotten the pitching coach from Arkansas had just come over, Tim Montez, and he taught me a slider. I do remember that feeling, going like, whoa, that literally changes the whole arsenal. Songs aren't really like that. Every once in a while they are. When I wrote In Case You Didn't Know, which is probably the biggest song I've ever put out, we knew in the moment. Like that we have iPhone video of us walking around with our hands up in the air, like, wow, this just happened. But there are other ones, like on that same first record, I put out a song called Mercy that wasn't even going to be a single, but we started playing it during the live show, and the crowd response to it was what told us. So I think there are a million different ways to know. We say like a good song raises its hand in the industry, but in many different ways. Like I said, it can raise its hand right there in the writing room, or it can raise its hand the first time you play it on a stage in front of thousands of people, and you don't really know. But when you feel it, you know that the song's special because you feel people connecting to it, or because you personally know that you actually got it right. And so, yeah, I think that it's. I don't think that one's easy to relate to the sports world, or specifically learning a new pitch.
Okay, that's fair. And joining us here on the program, if you're just joining us, Brett Young, multi-platinum country singer, songwriter. He'll be at Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville, tomorrow night. Tickets available now.
Mercy is actually the song that my wife found you because of after something that happened in her life. She cannot hear that song without crying. And we're getting married in less than a month. Never Till Now, and In Case You Didn't Know are both songs at our wedding. So me being a little self-appreciative here, is there possibly another song? Because we got a couple holes left, and it's very Brett Young-centric right now, and I'll throw another one in there.
He wants the full Brett Young sound list.
Well, we did actually just put out a new song called Dance With You that literally just came out. That'll be part of the new record. And the music video is me and my wife getting married, the actual wedding footage. So if there's anything more geared towards a wedding that hasn't been used that much, I was just going to say, I hope you're not, when you mentioned Mercy, you're not using Mercy in your wedding. That wouldn't.
No.
Okay,
That's
good.
No, that's the song that I'll be honest with you. She played that song so many times that I finally had to ask, who is that? Because I love that song. And she told me, and then we went down this rabbit hole, and we have a bit of a beaten path relationship. We're both in our 30s, and when we found Never Till Now, that is getting into this wedding somehow, and it's one of the first songs after we come out for the reception.
I love it. Well, go look up Dance With You because it's out now as well if you're looking for another one. My goal is to just have at least one wedding before I die where every single song in the wedding was mine. If I could figure that out somehow, I'd be a happy camper.
You take that on the road, the Brett Young wedding tour.
Yeah, just me and Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. We'll just go.
you just play all the bridal shows across the Southeast.
That's right.
That'd be great. Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville tomorrow night. Brett Young comes to Asheville. I have to ask you this: do you have a favorite Brett Young song?
I think that In Case You Didn't Know would be the obvious answer, but that's not it for me. I wrote a song for my first daughter before she was born. And it was the first song off my third record. It's called Lady. And it's hard for me to not get emotional because it's not really about my daughter so much as a letter to my daughter about my wife and her mom. And so that's the one that always gets me every night. So it's my favorite to perform. Also, sometimes the hardest to perform.
All right. When you see you from now, when you see the rest of your career, do you imagine where you'll be, or do you just are you a person who just let it happen, just ride the wave?
Yeah, mostly the latter. Mostly grateful for as long as it might go on, and as long as people might be buying songs and buying tickets. I think it's not a really predictable career. Even on the day-to-day, it's not. You don't know what day you're going to have completely off on a Monday because you're off the road, and what day on Monday is going to be full of like work stuff, people that want an interview or people that want. So I feel like rolling with it and saying yes to everything is the only real way to do it until you just burn out and you can't anymore. And I'm nowhere near that. I enjoy waking up every day excited to do what I do, and I enjoy that people get to feel. I always say it's important for me that people feel connected, but it's important for them that they feel understood. So like if you can put out songs where people feel like they're not the only one going through that, I think that that's a beautiful thing to be able to give to people. And so as long as I feel like that's still happening, I'll still be excited to wake up and do it.
Now, I do have to ask you. You have a concert coming up on draft night. Are you a football fan? Did that anger you when you got the schedule and were like, oh?
Because I'm not gonna lie, I was super disappointed when I realized the one day of the year that anybody cares what I have to say was the night of your concert, so I can't go.
Guys, think about this. The majority of my work days are nights, Friday, Saturday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is the majority. I miss everything. When my Lakers play, can't watch them. But I can just never. And I'll try to do, on the bus we have internet TV, so you can't record it, but you can pause it for up to an hour and a half. So I'll be like, all right, I'll at least get, I'm going to pause the game. I'm going to go on stage. 90 minutes later, I'm going to come back. I shouldn't have missed that much. You know? This is my whole life. That's why I love golf being during the day. I'm like, okay, if there's a tournament on, I'll watch golf till the show. but with the rest of most sports, I miss everything. And so, yeah, I don't want to miss the draft, especially with this many quarterbacks and Mel Kiper's changed his opinion about who's going where 9,000 times. I'm like, what's going to happen?
Right.
And, with Lamar and Aaron Rodgers and everything, it's just like this, of all of them, I want this one.
Right. Right.
And I can't see it. So yeah, this is the story of my life is like, why can't I play shows Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? But it just doesn't work that way. So
maybe one day you'll be able to you'll be able to write all your own deals. You'll just be able to name your place, and you can have your concerts whenever you want to, and people just flood the gates. Tomorrow night, Harris Cherokee Center, Asheville. Get your tickets today. You can get them at the box office as well.
I can publicly attest this is a show that you cannot miss this show. I very rarely say go somewhere else instead of coming to see us, but especially if you have a better half. Take them to see Brett Young. Amazing singer, and I'm so sad I can't be there for this concert.
100%. And Brett, before we let you go, we just want to invite you after the show. If you're not, you got some downtime maybe, you don't have to hit the road to the next town immediately or absolutely have to hit the hotel bed. Come down to 51 North Merriman Avenue, Village Porch. We will be there covering the NFL Draft Live and have a beer with us.
I'll buy all the beers. I can attest to that. If I see a bus coming, it's on me.
You got the beer. You got the beers. I got the buckets. I'll be there.
Love it.
Indeed. Enjoy it. We appreciate you taking out the time for us, Brett, and best of luck to you at the show.
Thank you, guys. Hope to see you soon.
You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
The siren song of the sea beckons with a bounteous treasure and a desire that must be fulfilled.
Here's your seafood order, Mr. Willem.
Well, did you get me wild sashimi tuna?
Yes, sir.
And the Charleston crab cake, bourbon salmon, and wild mahi-mahi with mango salsa?
It's all in the bag.
At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety from your local catch to flavors from around the world. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Yeah!
Every Friday.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Imagine transforming your outdoor space into a stylish and functional area for relaxation and entertainment. Imagine superior durability and longevity, ensuring that your investment lasts for years to come. Imagine whatever you'd like. Decorators Composite Decking, Railing, Balusters, and Accessories can help you create a deck that reflects your personal style and provides an inviting space for you and your loved ones to gather. Make your vision a reality. To learn more, visit decorators.com. That's decorators with a K.
The 2023 NFL Draft is right around the corner, and the Move the Sticks podcast has you covered for all your draft needs. The show is hosted by me, Daniel Jeremiah, and my partner, Bucky Brooks.
When it comes to Kansas City and the draft, Move the Sticks is the podcast that will answer all of your questions. Who's going at the top of the draft? Who's going to potentially slide? Don't worry, tune in, and you'll be ready to watch the draft like a scout.
Subscribe now and listen to the Move the Sticks podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
Coffee store closes on.
Get them the money. Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
3-2 last night. Still absolutely dumbfounded the Celtics found a way to lose last night. But the Clips are gone. So are the Wolves. So we're getting closer to the end of this sham of a first round. A full 4 games in the NBA tonight. This is Green on Green, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. First, the New York Knicks are a 5.5-point dog in Cleveland tonight. What am I missing? How are you not seeing that they are the better of these two teams? I expected Cleveland to be a small favorite. I'm talking a point, maybe a 1.5 at most. I'm catching 5.5 just because this game's in Cleveland. Have you seen how excited this team is to actually be relevant? I'm not telling you they win. I fully believe this goes back to a Game 6 in the Garden, and that's where New York puts it away. But 5.5, I'll say the same thing I said last night, is disrespectful. Give me the Knicks plus 5.5. Next, the Los Angeles Lakers are a 4-point dog in the Grindhouse tonight. This could be the end of this series. I don't think it's going to be, because I do think Memphis is going to win, but 4 seems like a lot. This feels like a Memphis has a lead with 5 seconds to go. The Lakers drive down for a shot. It clangs off. We go to a Game 6 in L.A., and ultimately that is also where they end the series. I feel like Ja Morant is going to go nanners tonight and be just enough to keep the number 2 seed Grizzlies alive, but give me L.A. plus the 4 to cover. Memphis wins. The Miami Heat are a 12-point dog tonight at the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm not even going to try to lie to you and say that I think Miami's going to win, because they're not. But 12 is ridiculous. Jimmy, well, call him by his real name, Hemi Butler, has absolutely been a D-O-double-G dog in this series, and he is not going to let Miami get blown out. Milwaukee will take this to a Game 6, may force a Game 7. I'm not even going to tell you Milwaukee's not going to win the series, but Miami will not get blown out tonight. Give me the Heat plus the 12. In the final game of the night, the Sacramento Kings are a 2-point dog at home against the Golden State Warriors. Do you not watch basketball? Line makers, really? Golden State is awful on the road. 11 wins away from the Bay all year. And now because De'Aaron Fox has a little fracture in his finger, he'll still play. You mark my words. May not be as good a shooter, but he's not the only one on this team that scores. Sacramento's going to be loud. The cowbells will be out in droves, and Sacramento's winning this game. Give me Sacramento plus the 2. I'll take them in the money line to win outright, and I'll go over the 235. For more, find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, Green on Green is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain on weather radar cruising up from the southwest. We're in the mid-40s tonight, and we've got several more days of this kind of weather. Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. I think more rains in the Sunday forecast. Showers tonight, 46. Showers tomorrow, 63. And scattered thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 74 degrees. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG. Hot and crisp nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, but they won't be here forever. Yeah, hot and crisp fries covered in bold Mexican spices with a side of nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Staples has everything you need to travel, from passport photos to luggage. And now get 20% off your in-store purchase when you buy any travel service, like passport photos in just 10 minutes. In-store only. Offer ends 4/29. Exclusions apply. Get all set to jet at Staples.
Cleaning the inside of your house is easy, but the outside is where most people need a little help. WNC Wash Pros are the highest rated exterior cleaning company in North Carolina with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Whether you need your walkways pressure washed or the outside of the house scrubbed clean, we will kill all organic growth to preserve your paint and extend the life of your roof with our gentle and soft approach. Call us at 828-560-WASH or visit our website at WNCWash.com. UNTWashPros.com for a free estimate today.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer?
I'm Sam Mewis.
And I'm Lynn Williams.
And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks.
It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you.
You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Con?
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The Jets today introduced new quarterback Aaron Rodgers. He said he's excited for what lies ahead in New York and is happy to be part of a team with a chance to win it all. He explained one big reason he chose New York was offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, his former OC in Green Bay. Starting tomorrow, Rodgers will be joining his new teammates for the offseason program, and that is huge, notes Fitz and Harry co-host Harry Douglas.
I think he understands the urgency of him being in that building with his teammates as the off-season training starts. He wants to get to know his teammates better. He stated that. He wants to put together fun events for team building. All of those things are huge for the New York Jets and also Aaron Rodgers when it comes to having success on the football field.
Regarding how long he might play for the Jets, Rodgers said he is only focused on this season. NBA Clippers forward Kawhi Leonard diagnosed with a torn meniscus. Within the next 2 weeks, he and the Clippers will decide on the course of treatment for the injury. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, Kawhi set out the final 3 games of the Suns playoff series with what the team called a right knee sprain.
When you're trying to hire and fill open jobs, the searching, screening, and interviewing can become its own job. You need Indeed, their powerful hiring platform that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Greene. That's Greene. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And yes, we are seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat, which is going to be very important through the next 3 days.
So with our draft coverage, we're really trying to prove a handful of things. One is that we have one of the most loyal fan bases of anybody in the country.
Which we do.
It is shocking how many of you have commented and liked and shared, and we appreciate that more than we can ever say. Tank and I'm going to go out on a limb and say we put more time into the draft than any 2 radio hosts in the country.
Probably say that's
As
true.
I was looking down the media contest, I didn't see a lot of radio. I saw a lot of print. I saw a lot of TV. I did not see a lot of radio. So we think that differentiates us and greatly is going to lead into new marketing avenues and different things. The draft is, I really feel like this is the official end of our year. This is when you go,
it's like
okay.
the fiscal year.
Yeah, it's okay. This year's in the books. Now we can do some new stuff. You're gonna hear some different sounds, be some different stuff on the screen when I come back from getting married in next month. We also want to prove that there are a whole lot of you that just want to talk about sports and not about political nonsense. Mm-hmm. And I call it nonsense because we're not inclined to talk about it. Like I don't have an opinion on most of these things. B, I'm not qualified to give one. And we think there are a lot of you out there in radio land that you want to throw on sports talk in your car and and talk about ball things. And Tank and I are good at ball things.
Mm-hmm. We went through this, we went through a lot of this during the shutdown in the early stages of this program. We started to go down that skid of that's what people want to talk about. And we quickly found out, no, by golly, it's not.
No, and so we audibled, and that's what we've done. And now we're going to have 2 just fantastic days of Draftmas coverage. The I said what I meant. I meant what I said. That the third day we'll be one of the only ones covering it. And we'll try to make it entertaining. We're going to sprinkle in some different things. Mm-hmm. We're really looking forward to this. Can't wait to see all of you in the chat, all the interaction. It really, truly means the world to us. But this is the last day to get in your questions before we're live.
That's right.
For the 2023 NFL Draft.
It is Draftmas Eve tomorrow here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. 4 o'clock, we will have the final mock draft of Flostradamus Jeremy Greene, the one that has been submitted into the media contest. That'll be here pre-recorded on ESPN Asheville between 4 and 6 p.m. I got a Braves game that'll be wrapping up right around 4 o'clock, and so we will take you that'll be your intro into the YouTube broadcast tomorrow night for each and every pick, live at 51 North Merriman Avenue, the Village Porch. Come on down and join us for that, and definitely get in on the stream.
Bob Brown in our YouTube chat said he has landed in Asheville. He has flown into Asheville to watch the draft with us. That is a high water mark.
Cannot wait.
I'm excited, okay? I am excited. I'm so excited that I'm your Huckleberry, so I don't have a button to push. Yeah! Tank has that button to push. It's our first super chat of the day. It's from Evan Doyle. It's just that simple. If you have a question you want us to answer real quick, that's how you do it. What position group do you believe will have a run in the first round, tight end, cornerback? Excellent draft coverage from you guys. As always, we appreciate the kind words.
Yes.
There's one answer to that, and it's wide receiver.
That's the only run you see?
That's the one that I know is going to happen. I think one is going to happen at offensive tackle.
I think there are 3 different runs. There's a tackle run, there's a corner run, and there's a wide receiver run.
Yeah, and I think you're a little biased because you have seen the final mock draft. And there is a corner run, there's a tackle run, and there's a receiver run.
But I feel like those are the strongest of the elite classes.
There are a lot of guys in this class that just have very similar grades. And, I mean, there are guys that are going to go in the first round that, Emmanuel Forbes, I'll give you an example. I see no shot he doesn't go in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
None. We haven't hardly talked about him at all in the first round. And that's just how this goes. You start getting information late. And that's why we wanted to talk about this today, of what is the worst possible pick for your teams. What should you be looking to avoid?
Mm-hmm. So we start where the draft will start tomorrow night with the Carolina Panthers at number 1. It's the worst possible number 1 pick the Carolina Panthers can make.
Carolina's the only team in the NFL where their answer is infinity, because it's any name that's not Bryce Young. If you say any other name, I don't care who it is, immediately.
Mm-hmm. Bryce Young is the most talented quarterback in this class. The S2 cognitive test leaks. The 98th percentile score that he got on that was the highest among the quarterbacks. I feel like he can do the most of all the quarterbacks.
No doubt.
He's the one that I would trust. I mean, I would feel like, yes, the worst possible thing you can do is not draft Bryce Young at 1.
Our buddy Josh Graham from the Triad, he took it a step further, and he said if the Carolina Panthers draft Will Levis at 1, he will try mayonnaise in his coffee and an unpeeled banana.
Gross.
Those are 2 things that Will Levis likes. He puts mayonnaise in his coffee, and he eats his bananas unpeeled.
Yikes.
How did you not know that?
I didn't know that, and now I'm disturbed. I've never heard of anyone putting mayo in their coffee.
He's repulsed by milk. Just the thought of milk repulses him. And to the point of he will ask you to remove it off a table.
Right. I mean, I am very slotty when it comes to mayonnaise. I love mayonnaise. I'm a white guy. That is the token of being a white guy. Of you have to like mayonnaise. In your coffee, though? That's not it. No, sir. Gross.
Yeah, it scared a lot of people off, honestly.
The worst thing they could do is say C.J. Stroud. After all of this, with the cognitive and all of that, I feel like that is the worst thing you can do, because now I look at him as the most bustable quarterback in the class.
I don't agree with you there. I would say the biggest bustable quarterback would be Anthony Richardson. But for me, it's literally any name that's not Bryce Young.
At number 2, the Houston Texans. Worst pick they can make?
This one is difficult for me because there are several things that I believe that they could still do. I think Tyree Wilson's still on the board. I think Will Anderson's still on the board to some degree. So I'm going to say the worst pick the Houston Texans could make is any quarterback. I don't want you to take any of these guys because you're going to play them week 1. You're not starting Davis Mills over anybody you take it to. And you'll get them killed. I mean, you're going to break whoever it is because this roster is awful. So for me, I'm gonna live by the old Bill Parcells philosophy of I'm gonna build closest to the ball before I worry about anything that is further away from it. So I don't want to see Houston take a quarterback. Now, I don't think they're going to. I don't think there's any chance of that. I'll say 0.1% that they just have a complete change of heart. In the last 24 hours.
I feel like the only way you would do that is if something wacky happened at 1 and Bryce Young was there, because we've been told that they love him.
Well, I mean, everybody loves Bryce Young. I haven't talked to a team yet that didn't have him as their number 1. I said that from the get-go. Rob Johnson, our YouTube comment, said they're tanking for Caleb Williams and Drake May. Bingo. They're both exponentially better quarterbacks than any of the 3 they can get it to. So you jump in line, you get in a rush to take a quarterback, and all of a sudden, now you're stuck with the broke toy.
At number 3, the Arizona Cardinals.
You're not going to like my answer to this.
Okay.
Because it's what I think they're going to do. It's take Paris Johnson to appease Kyler Murray. There has been a very late surge here that the Arizona Cardinals, if Tyree Wilson is gone, because apparently they like him better than Will Anderson. And Kyler Murray has made it very well known to everybody in the front office that he loves Paris Johnson. And that's the left tackle he wants for the long haul. And there is a belief that they're going to acquiesce him to get that relationship off on the right foot, make sure he's happy. And I don't have a problem with Paris Johnson per se. I think sticking him on the left side, which is exactly what they would do, off the jump with not much around him, you're setting him up for failure.
He needs time to grow into the position.
It's not really grow into it. He needs help. He's still really raw. This kid's bounced up and down the line. He only had one real prime year of doing what he's going to be asked to do in the league. And so I don't think that's his best scenario. I liked him with the Raiders for a long time because he'd have Dylan Parham on the inside of him. He would start on the right side because they already have the left side settled. You can ease your way into the league, and then 2-3 years from now you slide to the left. I'm officially to the point of I don't think that's going to happen.
So the worst pick they can make
is the one they're probably
the one that they're probably going to make. Okay.
You'll have a few of those over the course of us doing this.
I would say it would be anybody not a defender. not Will Anderson or Tyree Wilson.
So you think taking anybody on the offense? Because the only other name I've even heard attached to them is Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would be a problem at all.
Yeah, but
I don't love his career outlook gets very bleak with the Arizona Cardinals.
Right. No, I mean, I wouldn't. I obviously wouldn't hate that. Anybody is going to get it. You know, if you feel like you've got a chance at a historic running back, which I feel like he can be, then I'd be okay with that. But I've just got a fear that you're gonna punt this pick. But that's what you do. You're the Arizona Cardinals. At number 4, it's Indianapolis. You've said from the beginning, Flostradamus, that Will Levis is the pick here.
Yes.
The final mock draft will have Will Levis go in number 4. What's the worst thing they could do?
C.J. Stroud. The worst thing they could do is back, and I fully believe they're not going to do this, but there is enough talk about it that it's at least in the air that C.J. Stroud falls to 4 and they piddle in their pants and everything they've said, everything they've let people like me know over the course of the process goes out the window. And, again, I don't think that's going to happen. I am huge fans of sticking to your guns. You can attest to this. I have not backed off Will Levis at 4 since the end of the season. I mean, I'm talking the first mock draft I did, the Sunday after the Sunday night, Monday after the regular season. Will Levis was at 4 to the Indianapolis Colts. So you have to stick to your guns. And that's fully what I believe they will do. And you're going to get your guy. Now, is there a possibility he's a bust? Absolutely. Is there a possibility that C.J. Stroud's better than him? Absolutely. I don't care. I really don't. This has been your guy. Stick to your guns.
Don't wait. Don't play the game that apparently the Houston Texans are playing with banking on next year. Because I don't feel like this team is that bad.
They're not.
I honestly don't. You put a decent quarterback with this team, and they'll be nowhere near being able to compete for those guys in next year's draft.
Common sense ain't common sense. If the which is by the way an awesome YouTube name. If the Colts draft Stroud, y'all might not hear from me until next year because I'll be on my own darkness retreat. I agree with you. Speaking of darkness retreats, I will be going on one of those of my own after the draft. So be a little sparse. I will be back. I didn't disappear into the ether. I'm just going to get married. Doing this 3 weeks after the draft, there's a lot of things to be done, and now it's time for me to pull my weight.
Yep, you are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. What's the worst pick your team could make on draft night? We'll continue next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 westbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge, very busy. Future 26 eastbound slow between Riverside Drive and 240. 26 eastbound slows east of Long Shoals Road to Airport Road. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound in Haywood County, crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG. Hot and crisp nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, but they won't be here forever. Yeah, hot and crisp fries covered in bold Mexican spices with a side of nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
You are invited to dinner with us. Hello, my name is Stan Asher, lead pastor of Connection Point. I want to invite you to come and find hope, encounter truth, and experience love. We invite you to join us every Wednesday evening, 6:15 p.m. for a free meal followed by small groups, life-relevant Bible studies for every age group at 7 p.m. We also have an exciting children's ministry. We are located at 142 Elk Mountain Road, Asheville, North Carolina, 28804. Check us out on the web to learn more at connectionpointcog.org. We'll be looking for you.
May 14th is Mother's Day. Be sure to spread the love with flowers from Stargazers Designs. Visit us online at stargazersfloraldesigns.com or call us now to get your order in early at 828-254-3621. Stargazers Floral Designs.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The siren song of the sea beckons with a bounteous treasure and a desire that must be fulfilled.
Here's your seafood order, Mr. Willem.
Well, did you get me wild sashimi tuna?
Yes, sir.
And my Charleston crab cake, bourbon salmon, and wild mahi-mahi with mango salsa?
It's all in the bag.
At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety from your local catch to flavors from around the world. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Yeah!
Every Friday.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. What's the worst pick your team could make on draft night? Well, we'll talk about all of the teams here before the end of the program. I know tomorrow night, not all of the teams have picks. There's, 5 teams that don't have first-round picks?
San Francisco, Denver, Cleveland, St. Louis, Miami.
See how you just rattled that off? He knows this thing backwards and forwards.
It really drives my soon-to-be wife crazy. You can remember a 40 time for a receiver from a school you don't know where it is. You forgot to pick up potatoes for dinner, you big moron. I got a weird brain. What can I say?
Number 5, that pick belongs to the Seattle Seahawks.
Theirs is really easy for me. They just have to remember that band that you love and I don't understand. Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. There are 3 premium defenders. You pick at 5. 2 quarterbacks are going in front of you. I don't care which one of them you wind up with. Just one of them. But we could take a quarterback. You could. You could do that. You shouldn't, but you could. I don't care. If Will Anderson and Tyree Wilson go 2-3, take Jalen Carter. Tyree Wilson goes 2, Paris Johnson goes 3, take Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. I don't care. I do physically not care which one of them you get. Keep it simple, stupid.
So, no to the quarterback.
No. Yeah, I'm going no.
No Anthony Richardson, no C.J. Stroud. Anthony Richardson is the one that I've seen tied to them the most.
Which is funny because everything I've heard is that if they were going to take one, it would be C.J. Stroud.
Really?
Yes. It's so funny how every team views this differently.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that old, you remember that dress we all argued about? Was it blue and gold or black and white or, I don't know. It's an ugly dress. I don't care what damn color it is. It's horrid. And if you wore it, you look like a shower curtain.
And number 6.
C, previous.
Detroit Lions.
I feel the same way about Detroit that I do about Seattle. One of these guys is going to fall to you. And if one of those 3 I just mentioned doesn't, Devin Witherspoon will.
Mm-hmm.
Take him. You'll be just fine. The thing about Seattle and Detroit is, and yes, I do understand you're not going to get a shot at a quarterback again. I fully understand that. It would be one thing if if you were in like the Jet shape, where they have a 39-year-old quarterback, and I know he's got 2 years at most. Geno Smith's 33. He could have 3 or 4 more good years left. And I fully believe you're going to have a shot at Hendon Hooker because I don't think he's going as high as everybody thinks. And if I don't, I'll figure it out 2 or 3 years from now. I feel the same way about Detroit. Jared Goff was fine last year. Jared Goff was better than any of these quarterbacks in this class are going to be for you this year. Mm-hmm. And the NFC is gettable. Outside of the Philadelphia Eagles, I have questions about everybody else. So I'm going to tool myself up with an elite player that's going to help me right now.
The Detroit Lions are in a position, though, I don't feel like you could completely knock them.
Oh, I'll kill them.
If they took a quarterback.
I will kill them if they take a quarterback in this class. Because now there was a time, and I'm sure somebody's thinking this of, well, but because there was a time that we didn't know about the medical on Tyree Wilson. We didn't have – I feel completely good on Tyree now from what I've been told. I feel completely good on Devin Witherspoon because I saw him at the pro day. So now I've seen him run. I've seen him do all the things. He weighed in. I'm good. There was a time that you were going to be reaching for a guy there. I don't feel that way anymore. Now I know there's a guy that's going to help me right now, and I'm in win now mode. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, if you can get one with that second pick, 18 for the Lions, 20 for the Seahawks, okay. That I will not hammer you for. If Seattle takes Hendon Hooker at 20, okay. Do I love it? No. Do I hate it? Also no.
The Las Vegas Raiders at 7.
Anything that starts with the word quarter. If it's a quarterback, you did it wrong. Because I am not emboldening Josh McDaniels to make this decision. Jimmy Garoppolo's your guy. Paris Johnson's on the board, that's who I'm taking. If it has to be Christian Gonzalez, that's who I'm taking. Now I don't know who else it could be.
Now, you've said that several times about empowering Josh McDaniel to make the decision and all of that. Well, I mean, it's not him. It's Ziegler that's going to be making the decision.
And you don't think that comes directly from Josh McDaniels?
I don't know.
I will go ahead and tell you. It does. If they take a quarterback, this was at the behest of Josh McDaniels, and there is a great possibility that he drafts a quarterback that he is never holding a call sheet for. And that is stupid.
I was going to say, are they a package deal?
Ziegler and Josh McDaniels?
Ziegler and Josh McDaniels.
Absolutely. They came from the same building.
I get it.
I mean, if one gets fired, the other's getting fired. So I just – you went all in on Jimmy Garoppolo. That's the guy I need. We traded Derek Carr – or we cut Derek Carr, and got nothing, which is still confounding to me. Mm-hmm. The Green Bay Packers got a first-round pick swap and another first-round pick and a second-round pick for a 39-year-old quarterback. You couldn't get squat for Derek Carr. You're all in on Garoppolo. So whoever the player is you think that's going to help you win right now, that's who you go get. And if you don't win, don't be shocked when you're in the unemployment line next year.
Worst pick possible at number 8 for the Atlanta Falcons.
This is one of the only teams that I don't know that there is one.
Oh, I have one. Miles Murphy.
Oh, nobody's taking Miles Murphy.
I have seen him tied to the Atlanta Falcons more than just about anybody else. They're desperate for a pass rusher, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he's not even the next pass rusher on the board. So who said that? Maurice Jones-Drew? Because his mock drafts are you know what, next year, and I swear to you I'm going to do this, and somebody hold me to this. Maurice Jones-Drew puts his mock draft out the week before the draft. Next year, I'm going to go to the village porch with a big piece of paper and a crayon, and I'm going to pound a fireball every pick I make. And by the end of it, I'll guarantee you what I come up with is still more coherent than anything Maurice Jones-Drew has ever said in his life. You are a great football player. You should never mock draft anything in your life. That was a rant I've wanted to go on for a solid week.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people that still believe that Miles Murphy is an
not going in
elite
the top
player.
10. He's not going in the top 10. There are teams in the late teens that maybe. I think it's more likely he falls to the back of the first round. So for me, I'm looking at Atlanta going, my good Lord, how many options do you have? You could take, if one of those corners falls, you could take one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to take Bijan Robinson. You could take Peter Skoronski, who this is one of the only schemes that I think he really fits. There's just not a lot of miss. There's not much that I look at here and go, that's not good. Atlanta has the world by the tail. And so, I mean, if you want to go with Miles Murphy, I'll go with Miles Murphy. Just, for me, with Atlanta, it's you pick your poison. And I really hope it's Bijan Robinson. You rushed for 1,000 yards with Tyler Algier last year. What in the world do you think Bijan Robinson will do? He could have 1,500 yards as a rookie.
As the NFL draft draws closer, we're in the Sportsocracy talking about the worst possible picks
do you
that your team could make.
Do you realize that we are just 27 hours and 25 minutes? That's it. We are almost within one day. I can almost say it this time tomorrow. It'll be time.
This is the Sportsocracy. You're listening on ESPN Asheville, watching live on YouTube, as you can with every pick of the NFL draft.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain on weather radar cruising up from the southwest. We're in the mid-40s tonight, and we've got several more days of this kind of weather. Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. I think more rains in the Sunday forecast. Showers tonight, 46. Showers tomorrow, 63. And scattered thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 74 degrees. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Future 26 eastbound slow between Riverside Drive and 240. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound in Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by GetRefunds.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. If you own a business and still haven't applied for the payroll tax refund, we want to pay a licensed tax attorney to see if you're eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver," unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Listening to this station on your free iHeartRadio app could put $5,000 in your pocket.
No way, are you kidding me?
Open your app and search the station to be instantly qualified for the cash.
Yay! Thank you so much.
Download the free iHeartRadio app for all the music, radio, and podcasts you love.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy back in the Ingles studio. Time to get weird, Jeremy. What you got?
Every one of us at some point in our lives has had a bad landlord. Well, in Germany, it went all the way to their Supreme Court because a landlord had a little bit of a weird hobby. Tenants move into a it doesn't say if it's a condo, if it's in a building of some kind. So I'm going to assume it's a condo, apartment, something like that. They move in. There's construction work that starts the month after they move in. So the landlord, being the nice guy he is, you didn't know that was coming, I'll give you a little break on the rent. That lasts for 3 months.
Okay.
Over the course of those 3 months, the tenants discovered that the landlord had he enjoyed sunbathing himself in the courtyard, and he liked doing it. The only way I know to say this is naked. He was a naked sunbather, and apparently this really ruffled their feathers. So they sued him because he pushed for their eviction because they were paying him the same amount that they were paying during the construction because they said his naked sunbathing was bothering them. Take it to a lower level court, they kick it back. They keep going up the line. Well, they eventually get into a level of court in Germany that actually went out to the condo. And they put a little dummy in the courtyard to see exactly how upsetting this would be. Well, when they got there, they realized you can't actually see him from the condo unless you go into the back bedroom and stick your body halfway out the window. That's the only way you can actually see what he's doing. Nobody ever said that he left that spot. He said, I put on a robe anytime I move, but it's like a little blind spot if you watch the league. Well, German court agrees with him and said he is totally inclined to evict these people because they didn't pay their full amount of rent for their naked landlord.
Okay.
First of all, don't be nude in public, all right? This is a male landlord, and I'll just go ahead and tell you, I don't care who you are. It's not putting your best foot forward. I don't care who you are. Fabio, nope.
Wait, is that my name on the door?
I
mean, if I'm the landlord, this is my house.
I own this.
Exactly.
Which means
you don't like it? Then get over it.
Means I will do as I please because I am the master of my domain.
Exactly. You're the one paying me to live here. If you don't like the scenario, you can move.
But I must emphasize, nobody needs to see that.
No, do not do that. Worst possible picks your team could make during the 2023 NFL Draft. Going down the draft order here, we're down to number 9 with the Chicago Bears.
I don't
do
think
your worst.
Jalen Carter.
But why?
I want to help Justin Fields.
Okay.
Defensively, all right, ask yourself this question. With the additions the Bears have made, we think they're better on defense, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything Jalen Carter could do that would make that a good defense? It will be a league average defense at best, no matter what Jalen Carter does. Fact or fiction?
I'd say fact.
This is a make or break year for Justin Fields. I don't care if you go receiver. I don't care if you go offensive lineman, which is what I think you're going to do. I feel like there is this, and I'm not trying to bang on Bears fans. I have been really nice to Ryan Poles all offseason long. I think you did really well. You filled a lot of holes, made the roster NFL caliber. I feel like not giving this last piece to Justin Fields is doing yourself a disservice. But we were fine with Braxton Jones. No, I got that. I'm well aware of that. It's that right side that I don't feel particularly hunky-dunky about. It's that center, the interior of the line that I don't feel particularly hunky-dunky about because I want to slide Tevin Jenkins into the inside. And I feel like you need another piece, and there's one specific one, which is who I will be giving them in the mock draft tomorrow.
So Jalen Carter would be the worst in your opinion because he doesn't help Justin Fields immediately.
I also have some qualms of I don't really want Jalen Carter to be the leader of a defense.
Okay.
He would be the best player on that defense, fact or fiction.
Yeah.
With his, we'll call them red flags.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure I want him in a city like Chicago. You can infer from that what you want to. Somehow you got rid of one mayor and got one that was worse. But we don't talk politics. It's on the door.
Right.
I saw it when I walked back in here.
Right.
I'm not so sure that I want you to be the face of a defense. I want you to go somewhere, Seattle, Detroit. I mean, in Seattle, it's Tariq Woolen, it's Jordan Brooks. You got a lot of vet guys in this room. In Detroit, it's Aiden Hutchinson. I don't want you to be the face, at least not immediately, and you totally would be in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And they would heap ridiculous expectations on you. From the jump, I have no doubt of that.
That's a surprising pick for me. I did not expect to hear you say that would be the worst possible pick that they could make, but I understand the logic.
Colin Greene said, "What's wrong with Chicago? Nothing, so long as you leave your wallet at home." Cha! Let's go, make them laugh.
At number 10, that's where the Philadelphia Eagles come in. What's the worst thing they could do at 10? And even if they did it, I was going to say, and even if they did it, do you really care all that much?
I want to see them trade down. If the draft falls the way I think it's going to, because you'll miss on Bijan. And then really the other players that I think you're after, you can get later.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sitting right in front of Tennessee, and you cannot tell me, of all the teams in this draft, you can't tell me that there's not somebody that would call Philadelphia.
Sure there is.
Because I want to get in front of Tennessee to get whichever one of these two quarterbacks that fall out of the top 9. I think you're going to be able to make a move.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, if you just go, you know what, it's Lucas Van Ness no matter what, and you take him at 10, yep, I'm good. That's fine. That's just fine.
Mm-hmm. Stick to the game plan. Stick to the game plan. You have your needs, and address those needs the best you can. I don't know that Philadelphia can do anything wrong in this scenario.
Forget to make a pick. That's really about the only – do the Minnesota thing with Kevin Williams where you go, I have this, but I'm not going to hand it to you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is another one. This is an edge rusher spot, and
we think.
Well,
it could be an offensive lineman spot too.
It could be.
Look, Philadelphia stays a year ahead of themselves in the draft. That's how they wound up with Jordan Davis last year. Now he replaces Javon Hargrave. That's what Philadelphia does.
Mm-hmm. Most common mock draft scenarios at the 10 pick. Devin Witherspoon. This is according to the mock draft database.
Yep, no way.
Devin Witherspoon's 1.
Next.
Christian Gonzalez is 2.
No way.
And Bijan Robinson's 3.
I would say Bijan is. If you told me I had to pick 3 players for Philadelphia at 10, it would be Bijan if he's there, Jalen Carter, Lucas Van Ness. And Bob Brown asked us, how does Lucas Van Ness compare to Aiden Hutchinson last year? He's not as good of a prospect, but he's still a good prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. If I'm Philadelphia and that's who I'm after, I don't think I have to take him right here. I think I can drop down and still get him.
Number 11.
Anthony Richardson. Did I say that with too much gusto?
Tennessee Titans. Worst pick you could make, Anthony Richardson.
Okay, so you walk me through this. Anthony Richardson is a really mobile quarterback with a big arm.
Mm-hmm.
He's really raw. What does that sound exactly like?
Malik Willis.
There you go. The guy that you're giving up on after a year. So you're giving up on one project to get another. Yeah, I don't understand that. I do not get that. Now, I don't think you're going to have the option. I am now almost positive C.J. Stroud's the last quarterback to go. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be to the Tennessee Titans. Sit behind Tannehill for a year, learn the offense, and with that, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Stroud just needs a year. I know he can throw. He is not a project. You're just going to have to teach him to be an NFL quarterback. Because he's coming from an offense that it didn't do NFL things. So he's going to have to learn progressions. He's going to have to learn a lot of things. But I'm going to give up on one project for another. Because Tennessee, at least what I'm seeing of them, they fully believe that they can still be competitive. And then you go draft a project. It didn't make sense to me last year when they did it with Malik Willis. If you remember, I killed that pick when they... Of all teams to do this, you're the one that makes the least sense.
Mm-hmm.
So now you do it again. I'm good.
All right. Next up, number
12.
What are number 12? Okay.
The Houston Texans again.
Well, I mean, do we want to do...
we can skip Houston.
I was going to say, do we need to do Houston again? We've done the worst pick that they could have.
All right, I'll just give you a one-liner on that pick right there. There is a very vocal minority that believes the reason Houston is not taking a quarterback at 2 is because they think they can get one at 12, and I'm not sure they're right. They could be.
Mm-hmm.
May not have your choice of who it is, but that is a growing scuttlebutt, we shall say.
So let's go to 13. The former pick belonging to the New York Jets now belongs to the Green Bay Packers. It's the worst thing they can do.
Not take a pass catcher. And I really don't care which one it is.
Whether it's a tight end, whether it's wide receiver.
Yesterday I said there was a player that it makes no sense to me that you would have really pushed for that pick swap unless there was a player you were trying to get that you didn't think you'd get at 15. I asked all the right questions, and I believe I have figured out who that is. Now, it confounds me that they didn't think they were going to get that guy at 15, but all the pieces went into place. Mm-hmm. The puzzle has come together, and I believe I know who it is, and you will find out who that is in the mock draft tomorrow. And Packer fans, let me just go ahead and brace you. You're not going to like it.
So if they go with offensive line, they did it wrong.
100% yes. It would also fly in the face of everything they've ever done because they don't really invest high-end capital in that.
Mm-hmm.
They think they can hit guys in later rounds. They've also never invested it in pass catchers. So
that's what I was always
But there's
thinking.
a big difference in what you put around Jordan Love and what you put around Aaron Rodgers.
True. Very true. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. What's the worst your team can do on draft night or whenever your first pick comes up?
Yeah, Cleveland, I'm not really going to bang on you for anything you do unless you take a kicker.
The New England Patriots have the 14th pick. We'll talk about them up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Future 26 eastbound slow between Riverside Drive and 240. 26 westbound slows approaching Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Haywood County 40 westbound crawling between exit 27 and US 276. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. An accident reported here. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound heavy delays between Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by GetRefunds.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. If you own a business and still haven't applied for the payroll tax refund, we want to pay a licensed tax attorney to see if you're eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
Cleaning the inside of your house is easy, but the outside is where most people need a little help. WNC Wash Pros are the highest rated exterior cleaning company in North Carolina with a 100% satisfaction satisfaction guarantee. Whether you need your walkways pressure washed or the outside of the house scrubbed clean, we will kill all organic growth to preserve your paint and extend the life of your roof with our gentle and soft approach. Call us at 828-560-WASH or visit our website at WNCWashPros.com for a free estimate today.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person counts.
I'd rather not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
I hate the struggle of tough, greasy messes on my stovetop. So I just freak, wipe, and I'm done.
When I'm frustrated with stubborn bathtub soap scum, I just freak, wipe, and I'm done.
Mr. Clean Clean Freak delivers an innovative cleaning experience with a powerful deep cleaning mist that starts working on contact to break down tough messes in seconds.
Just freak,
wipe,
done.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The siren song of the sea beckons with a bounteous treasure and a desire that must be fulfilled.
At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety from your local catch to flavors from around the world. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Yeah!
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are going to be live for each and every pick of the 2023 NFL Draft.
You just did my Don Pardo thing. We'll be live for every pick of the NFL Draft.
It's tomorrow night, starting at, 7:30?
Our coverage will start at 7:30, yes. So we'll have the mock draft that comes out at 4. It'll be on the YouTube. It'll be on ESPN Asheville here. That will not be live, just so we're clear. Mm-hmm. You will be able to interact with it. There will be a chat, just as usual, but we won't be able to, because it's not the faraway times where we can go back to the future. Because we'll be setting up at the Village Porch. Everything will be set up. I will be there. I'm not going to say all day, because you never know. There may be one of those, hey, I need a phalange. Go get me a phalange. I can't say that won't happen, but I will be there much of the day.
Right. We'll be crossing the T's and dotting the I's for all of the coverage coming up over the 3 days of the NFL Draft. We will be live at 51 North Merriman Avenue at the Village Porch tomorrow night for the first round, Friday night for the second and third rounds.
So many things coming out with the draft, the battle for the belt. We have a new thing that many of you have asked me to do for many years, which is why I'm going into the darkness for a bit, much like my new quarterback.
The number 14 pick in the 2023 NFL Draft belongs to the New England Patriots. We're talking about the worst possible things you could do as a team. What's the worst Bill can do here?
I'm going to use a line that I'm sure at some point it's become a repressed memory, and my father said it to me when I was a child. Stop being weird, okay? Just do what everybody else does. You're weird, and I need you to stop doing that. I really don't want them to take an offensive lineman. And I'm not saying that because the Jets pick behind them. I don't really know which one of them is supposed to fit you. I don't like Skoronski's fit there. Broderick Jones, I mean, okay, but your best case scenario, he doesn't play the entire year. I would like to see them add a weapon to that defense, and I think they're going to. I am almost positive they're taking an edge rusher. I just don't know which one.
So they will regret it if they take Broderick Jones.
I'm not going to say regret it. There are a litany of things that New England could do. And look, we've talked about it here. There's a rumor that they really like Bijan Robinson, and if he was on the board, they might just take him.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody else is yinging, you're yanging. Because everybody in your division is going to be able to just put up points in droves. Well, there is a thought to improve the pass rush, play really good defense, run the ball, and try to mitigate the effect that, because I want you to say this out loud, Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa, Aaron Rodgers, Mac Jones. One of these things is not like the others. So basically anything outside of offensive line, I'm pretty okay with.
Mm-hmm.
And for the love of all that's, don't take some second-round prospect. Bill, I know you love doing that, but
because he's smarter than everybody else.
I think he's going to take an edge rusher. That's where I'm at. If you look at their visits, he really knows he needs another edge.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, and number 15, it belongs to the New York Jets.
You got to take an offensive lineman. I don't like it. I don't really want to. I want Mekhi Becton to be everything I thought he was after that rookie year, and he's just not.
Mm-hmm.
I can't trust him to be healthy. If he is healthy, great. So for me, it's Broderick Jones. I've heard they don't love Skoronski because they think he's the same player as Elijah Vera-Tucker. Now, for me, I would like to have two of those. The guy that played 3 different positions on your line last year and graded really nicely at all of them. I could do worse than having another one of those guys.
But is there a pick that you could make at 15? That
Jackson Smith and Jigba. I will say every obscenity known to man, the Woodfin police may arrest me if we take Jackson Smith and Jigba. You need to really look at me and go, okay? We're in public. There are certain things you cannot say because I will lose it. I mean, I will have a full-on meltdown.
Because?
A, I don't like him. B, I don't like him in this system. C, anything else. Take a defensive tackle. Take a linebacker. Take John Michael Schmitz. I don't care. Stop worrying so much about receivers. You're good. All right, we've done this. That's practically all you've added to this team. Let's maybe look at a different room. And I have this weird feeling that Jackson Smith and Jigba. Why do you rob me of happiness? This is what the Jets do. I can't tell you I'll have a football Farley moment.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be in the ballpark.
But
in public, nonetheless.
Yeah. But you've said you need 4. In this current day and age, you need 4 wide receivers. Who's the 4th?
Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard, Mecole Hardman. End of message. Repeat the line.
Yes, I had forgotten about Mecole
Oh,
Hardman.
and if we take a tight end, oh, good Lord. I might set a fire. Like, I mean, I'm not even going to lie to you. I might set something on fire.
He's just so in love with Tyler Conklin. He just doesn't want to see him
I just don't understand
replaced.
why. Like, why do you think that's a need? I cannot wrap my brain around it. We don't have long here before we got to go to the Sports Center break, but the team at 16 is the Washington Commanders. And theirs is real easy. If it's not a cornerback, you did it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's going to be one there. It's just a question which one it is. I think your worst case scenario is Joey Porter Jr. Your best case scenario is you have your choice of JPJ or Christian Gonzalez, and whichever one makes you feel warm and fuzzy, you go do it.
Right.
Because that's the one thing you're not going to get with the next pick. They have other needs, but it's about making a balanced draft class. And if you need a starting corner, which this team does real bad, you're not doing that in any other round.
Yep.
You might get lucky, but you are playing with fire. Go take the best corner, and we'll deal with round 2 when we get to round 2.
Indeed, we will continue here. What's the worst your team could do in the 2023 NFL Draft? SportsCenter update coming up in just a moment. We will continue the discussion afterwards. And don't forget, you can join us live tomorrow night, 51 North Merriman Avenue at the Village Porch for every pick of round 1.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain on weather radar cruising up from the southwest. We're in the mid-40s tonight, and we've got several more days of this kind of weather. Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. I think more rains in the Sunday forecast. Showers tonight, 46. Showers tomorrow, 63. And scattered thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 74 degrees. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow, 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Future 26 eastbound slow between Riverside Drive and 240. 26 westbound slows approaching Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between exit 27 and US 276. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. An accident reported here. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound heavy delays between Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG. Hot and crisp nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, but they won't be here forever. Yeah, hot and crisp fries covered in bold Mexican spices with a side of nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. OMG. Hot and crisp nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, but they won't be here forever. Yeah, hot and crisp fries covered in bold Mexican spices with a side of nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
The Sportsocracy.
That's horrible. No, you know what that is? That's horror awful. That's horrible and awful mixed together. Horror awful.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Plenty of smiles today as the Jets introduced new quarterback Aaron Rodgers. He explained part of the reason he wanted to play for New York, the coaching staff, and his familiarity with offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett from their days in Green Bay. He also called himself an old guy, happy to be part of a team with a chance to win it all. He told reporters that starting tomorrow, he'll be part of the Jets' offseason program. Rodgers was also asked if he'll play for New York beyond this season.
Right now, I'm just going to focus on this season, and I'm excited about being here. I expect to be here for the duration of the offseason, and I'm excited to get to know my new teammates and the coaching staff and the organization. And obviously, I have a background with Coach Hackett and that offense, but I'm excited about just diving in and being a part of this group.
Aaron Rodgers. NBA, Clippers forward Kawhi Leonard diagnosed with a torn meniscus. He and the team will decide on the course of treatment within the next 2 weeks, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Rockets today introduced new coach Ime Udoka. Blue Jays outfielder George Springer left today's game after being hit on the right hand by a pitch. The hand was bruised. X-rays did not reveal any fractures.
Coming up Thursday, as the first round comes to a close, has my opinion of who will win the title changed? Wait till you hear my answer. Keyshawn, J. Will and Max, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, cash. That's cash. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
This is the Sportsocracy. It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. A merry Draftmas Eve.
It is our last hour of live draft radio until it begins.
That's right. That's right. We'll be live.
And there will only be 3 more hours of live draft radio for the rest of the year, which makes me very sad.
The rest of the fiscal year.
Well, yes. I mean, by Tuesday, you got to break down each class, right? That's like a month.
Of course. We got draft grades.
They go 3 hours on Houston Texans draft grades. We're doing that Tuesday, right?
We may have to. Well,
we're certainly not talking about this NBA playoffs. You get me to 2 teams that are in each other's weight class, We'll talk about thinking about talking about it.
You going to get that in the next round. Denver and Phoenix.
Yeah, about boot that.
Oh, you think your Nuggets get swept? Is that,
no,
is
I
that
think
the way this goes?
I think they take Phoenix out in 5.
Stop it.
You tell me who stops Nikola Jokic, I'll take your answer off the air. Okay? I'll just mute myself, and you tell me how that's going to work.
Okay.
Because I got a big old biggin, and you're defending him with a guy that I think I weigh more than. So good luck with that. T's and P's.
That'll be a very competitive series, but that will be a discussion for another day, I could see. It is the Sportsocracy. We will be live for each and every pick of the NFL Draft tomorrow night, live at the Village Porch, 51 North Merriman Avenue. You can come on out and join us. Of course, watch all 3 days on the YouTube stream. Go to thesportsocracy.com right now. Click that live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat throughout the process. We focused on the best picks you can make, the mock drafts and the A-pluses and all of that. We thought it'd be a good exercise to go through and talk about the worst thing that your team could do. What is the one thing that will get you to throw the remote at the television as a fan of your team? And what are you what are you going to be ready to burn dummies in effigy after the picks are made? I feel like it's hard to screw up a pick that like really high in the draft, but they do it every year. There's somebody that does it every year. So I feel like 2 and 3 are definitely on the radar. Houston and Arizona, because those are the two that just keep going off the board from everything that we expected was going to happen in this draft. As we wind through the teams here, though, we have now come to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I was about to say, I can bail you out of this. I want to see how long you tap dance not knowing who the next pick is. I saw it. I saw that look in your face. We're going to replace your computer. And before I go into the darkness, I promise you I'm going to replace that computer.
I appreciate that.
Because I'm going to take it out in Radio Ranch and I'm going to shoot it with one of my bang, bang, bang.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. It's the worst thing they can do at 17.
Reach on a tackle. I think it was eat and sleep football. Asked me what would they do if there's no Broderick Jones, if all the corners are gone. I am a big fan of just stick to the board. And so if I'm Pittsburgh and I get put in that position where all the guys I've been targeting, because they have looked at trading up, take Mozzie Smith and be done with it. Don't take Anton Harrison at 17 for the love of all that's good and holy. Just don't do that. And I don't think they will.
Mm-hmm.
They're one that I've been told could be a wild card. Okay, you see Nolan Smith, all the corners and all the tackles off the board. Don't be shocked if they're the one you go, woo, a little high. And it's that Mozzie Smith is the only one that makes sense to me. So for Pittsburgh, it's don't reach. You don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do they have a need that you're looking at going, if you don't do it?
I mean, I don't like the offensive line.
I don't like the tackles. I love the interior of it. But I think you're going to get Anton Harrison with that first pick in the second round just as easily as you'll get him at 17. And if you don't get him, you'll get somebody really, really like him. Matthew Bergeron. Yep, that's fine. I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh has to live by value-based drafting, in my opinion.
And you want to, of course, help out your quarterback who's going into year 2. You're always going to be competitive as Pittsburgh, so...
I mean, adding a tackle is what I want to do, but if you push me out of this, I'm not going to bite on reaching.
Worst thing we could do is draft Joey Porter.
And expect him to be in the stratosphere of his father? Because he's not his dad.
No.
All right, we haven't talked about this. 20 seconds. Joey Porter Jr., is his best-case scenario Pittsburgh, or is his worst-case scenario Pittsburgh?
I would think it's closer to the best-case scenario.
I would say, and I tend to agree with eat and sleep here of Yeah, I think that puts a really unnecessary pressure on you.
I mean, obviously with the name, yeah. But still, I mean, does he have to be 10-time All-Pro to make it worth it? No. I feel like people look at the name and they'll go, well, he's got to be as good as his dad. I hate that. I hate that so much.
Well, it's facts don't care about your feelings. That's how people are. That's how people are going to view it. Is we got Joey Porter's kid. He's going to be the same kind of dog his dad was. And the first time he gets annihilated in coverage, he's not a tenth of what his dad was, and other vulgar things that I can't say on these airways. I can already hear it, frankly.
Right. The Detroit Lions have 18. Do you have a pick for?
Nope. Toughest pick in the draft. Not close. I'll be honest with you. When I was filling out the contest mock, I sat on Detroit forever. And I still don't think I have a better read than I did when I started.
19. Fire them cannons. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Your worst case scenario is doing what I think you're going to do and make a move for Anthony Richardson.
Yep.
It could also be.
You summed it up.
It's such a volatile pick. Because I'm not sure that's not the best landing spot for him. I'm not sure it's the best landing spot for you. And let me tell you why. I firmly believe there's no shot that somebody in the hierarchy of Tampa Bay is not looking around going, we're firing Todd Bowles after this year, right? Well, then you go into next year having to play matchmaker with a coach that believes in Anthony Richardson. And I will tell you, I don't know that I've ever seen more of a divisive prospect in my life. And I would say Justin Fields, even he wasn't this divisive. Because the ones that love him. The ones that hate him don't want to be in the same stratosphere as him. I am not attaching my career to that guy. And so, if you're committed to Todd Bowles, I'll rescind that.
They're not.
You keep saying these things. They are your opinions, not the opinions of your front office. The day they call and ask you what you think, you let me know. But would Baker Mayfield be on your team?
Is there even a shred in your mind that believes that Tampa Bay as an organization really wants Todd Bowles to hang around after this year?
I'm dumbfounded you brought him back this year. I'm dumbfounded you made him the coach in the first place. You understand?
We made him the coach because that's what Bruce wanted.
But who cares? Bruce is not in the building.
If
that's the case,
he absolutely is in the building.
As an advisor, he's not integral in the front office. He is the former coach that they pat him on the head and let him wear that stupid hat around because he won him a Super Bowl. If you're doing that because that's what Bruce wanted, you're the stupidest franchise in the league, period. Now, the fact that you kept him after Tom is even dumber. Now you're bringing in a new offensive coordinator, and I think he should be just grossly on the hot seat. You're also putting in a completely new offense that's not even in the ballpark of what you had. And you're going to give that 17 games? I mean, you say sucking ears because I know you had some bleak times. Most of them were before you were born. You can't really even get in the stratosphere of what I've dealt with the Jets. My worst years were Todd Bowles. Not close. And I don't think they're as out on him as you believe. Should be. But I can't believe he's still the coach right now.
To me, it was all PR move. It was all a PR move that you don't do that. You don't want to be.
Well, now you're going through year 2 of it, and
you don't want to be the franchise that dumps a coach after 1 year.
I care way less about PR, and everybody I talk to in this league, they don't really care what you think. So I'll put it this way: when your team picks at 19 or wherever they pick, you will know way more where Todd Bowles is after that than you do right now. You wind up with Anthony Richardson, you get used to that solemn stare because you're not switching playbooks on that kid a year in. There's no way. I shouldn't say no way. I'm surprised by things every single year. If you do, I will say his bust rate goes from 55% to 95%.
No doubt. Quarterback is the worst thing you could do, in my opinion.
And it arguably could be the best thing you do. If they moved up to 10 and now you're dealing with C.J. Stroud, okay. That means the Baker thing is a stopgap rental. C.J.'s probably your starter by week 6. And with those receivers, I feel great.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Richardson will get everybody fired. And then he has to learn a new playbook, and we're playing the Sam Darnold game.
All over again. Yeah, quarterback, worst move Tampa could make. I agree with you on that one. At number 20, that's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Seattle.
Oh, excuse me. Seattle. Philadelphia has 30. So, do you have one for that? Spicy for that pick?
I'm not sure that Seattle doesn't double down on edge rushers. I know that sounds weird, but there are a lot of weird things that come out of that room. That's all I'm going to say. Don't be shocked if they take an interior offensive lineman. I've had Osiris Torrance circled in there for a while. If Jackson Smith and Jigba fell, I could see that being his. I don't want to say drop dead because I think there are ways that this could play out. Let's say Seattle gets Jalen Carter at 5.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking an edge guy at 20, I promise you. And who it is, I got an idea. Miles Murphy's the one I would have circled right there. But now you take Will Anderson at 5, now it complicates things because you didn't think he was going to be there. Seattle is one of those most interesting teams in the draft. You got 2 of them back-to-back. One of them's your Bucks. One of them's Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to learn a lot about where they are, too.
At number 21, it's the Los Angeles Chargers.
Not a playmaker. I don't care if it's Bijan Robinson. I don't care if it's Jordan Addison. I don't care if it's Zay Flowers.
Mozzie Smith.
I don't want to take him that high because if I'm the Chargers, I don't feel like Mozzie Smith has to be the middle of a 3-4. And I feel like he's a little bit more project. And now you're getting into the same boat you were last year. Your solution here is to add targets. Frankly, I don't care what position it comes from. Running back, wide receiver, tight end, any of them. Do it. This has been in the last probably week that they really want to add a young pass rusher. And the more time goes on, the more I'm going, how are you going to find a way to do something just unequivocally stupid and take
Kalijah Kancey?
That's a good one. You know what? That's even better than what I was going to say. I don't think that happens, but I don't do that.
I mean, Brandon Staley, is he buying into the Aaron Donald connections with Kalijah Kancey? Does he believe that he's the same guy that he had with the other LA team?
I really hope Kalijah Kancey gets drafted in the first round so that he has to go up to a podium. And I want him to look at the first reporter that says, you've been compared to Aaron Donald. And I hope he says something vulgar and awful and says, the next time I hear his name in the same sentence as mine, I'm going to punch somebody in the face.
Mm-hmm. You can stop that right now.
That is the most unfair comparison I've ever heard and has made me hate comps even more than I already did.
Mm-hmm. So anything other than a receiver or a tight end?
Or a running back. If it's Bijan.
That's right.
I don't really want them to take Jahmyr Gibbs, but if Bijan's on the board, I don't even think about it for 2 seconds.
Is that because you see Jahmyr as Austin Eckler?
It's kind of a hat on a hat.
Yeah.
You're not fixing the problem that you have.
No, but you could get that replacement for him next year.
Yeah. I don't see how you play them together. That's. I'm okay with a replace. All right, I'll give you an example. Just a little aside on Jahmyr Gibbs. Cincinnati. I love the thought of them taking Jahmyr Gibbs because for a year you can play him with Joe Mixon, and then a year from now we're tired of your nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
There's a path to those two being on the field together. Austin Eckler and Jahmyr Gibbs, I can't draw that up in my own head. Not saying it couldn't happen. Somebody that's much smarter than me could probably figure it out, but I don't see it. And so for a year it's. I took this guy in the first round, but I can't ever play him at the same time as the guy I already have, who you're going to get nothing for. We've already proven that. So I don't love that as much.
After weeks of spending time looking at the positives and trying to get the best possible scenario for all of the teams in the 2023 NFL Draft, Yeah, we're talking about worst possible scenarios here in the Sportsocracy on Draftmas Eve. Stick with us. Baltimore Ravens are next.
Your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 240 eastbound between Amboy Road and US 1923 exit 3. 240 westbound light delays between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slowing approaching Long Shoals Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound in Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Checking the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound. Drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lee Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer? I'm Sam Mewis. And I'm Lynn Williams. And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks. It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you. You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Have your outdoors and running water, too. With Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family-owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Lou's are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty John.
Ew!
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLousRental.com.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The siren song of the sea beckons with a bounteous treasure and a desire that must be fulfilled.
Here's your seafood order, Mr. Willem.
Well, did you get me wild sashimi tuna?
Yes, sir.
And the Charleston crab cake, bourbon salmon, and wild mahi-mahi with mango salsa?
It's all in the bag.
At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety from your local catch to flavors from around the world. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Yeah!
Every Friday.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Draftmas Eve. And we're focusing on the negative. What's the worst your team could do in the NFL draft, which will kick off tomorrow night. 7:30 coverage in the Sportsocracy on the YouTube stream. You don't want to miss it. We have fun each and every year with this. And we want you to be along for the ride. So go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, and subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat for all 3 days of the NFL draft. And we'll be live at 51 North Merriman Avenue tomorrow night for the first round and Friday night for the second and third rounds. Welcome to come out and join us. Now, Talking about the worst thing that your team could do in this draft, the Baltimore Ravens are up next with the 22nd overall pick. What you got?
Guard. Oh, sorry. Guard is.
I don't understand why you think that's such a bad idea.
It's a horrible idea. You already have to, but no. For me, the worst thing that Baltimore can do is not add another receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're right in the honey hole of where receivers are going to go. I am more of the belief that you're going to get things settled with Lamar Jackson one way or the other, and you just need another guy.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into next year with Devin DuVernay as your 3, does he have a role in the NFL? Yes. But you're also counting on Rashad Bateman to be your 2 and Odell Beckham to be your 1, and I don't like any of those things. I like all of them coming down a spot.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like you're going to get the start of the run with the Chargers, and then the Ravens will take one of the 3. I think they would prefer either Quentin Johnston or Zay Flowers. And then it gets fun from there. Do people start moving? Because there's one team that really needs one, but if a couple of them are gone, what happens then?
Mm-hmm.
You got to add another weapon. I mean, Todd Monken is not going to run this, hey, we run 47 times a game kind of offense in Baltimore. So you better have a weapon of some kind.
You don't think so? They ran the ball quite a lot when he was at Georgia.
They're not going to do it the same way Greg Roman did. It won't be that much.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying they're going to abandon the run and turn into the Kansas City Chiefs, but it's not going to be we lead the NFL in rushing for the 84th straight year.
No, you go out and get Odell Beckham Jr. You got the rumors going on about DeAndre Hopkins. Whether that'll happen or not, we don't know. If it does happen, you still want a wide receiver?
I don't think he's going to Baltimore, and I'm not trying to eschew – I'm not trying to just push off that that's being discussed. It's coming from places that I do not trust. And the people that I do trust keep saying, Kansas City, Buffalo. In a message, repeat the line. Same it's been, same it's going to be. So, I mean, yeah, if you added DeAndre Hopkins, that changes things. And then I really don't know what you would do. Still wouldn't be a guard.
Do you look for another corner?
I swear to God, I thought you were about to say, do you look for a guard? Like how he's doubling down, boys. Let's go.
100%.
No, then I would say you look for an edge rusher. That would be my thought. I think corner is going to be rather depleted by that point.
Could be an Emmanuel Forbes. Take that next guy.
If he were there, then I think that becomes more of a discussion. I just am not. I'm not sure that corner's not just absolutely killed by that point.
Mm-hmm. I mean, biggest needs for them are receivers, edge rushers, corners?
Yep, that would be my top 3. Good thing is this is a good draft for 2 of those 3.
And not bad value picking at the end or toward the end of the first round at number 22. Number 23, it's the Minnesota Vikings.
Don't take a quarterback.
Hendon Hooker.
I've heard Hendon Hooker. I've heard Anthony Richardson.
Uh-huh. Well,
and there's so much smoke.
I don't feel like Anthony Richardson has any chance of being there.
No, that would be a trade-up.
Oh, okay.
No, Minnesota has been one of the most consistent teams named in a trade-up. And I do not get it. I mean, I know Kirk's on the backside, and he's probably not going to age particularly well. And, yes, I know that you have to – Minnesota's still this was a 2 seed in the NFC last year. And now you're telling me that you're so out on this roster that you're going to draft a quarterback, give up the draft capital it takes to go get one, and you're going to give them Justin Jefferson and KJ Osborne. Oh, yeah. Whoever that is, their career trajectory just took a sharp dive off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
In our YouTube comments, Rob Johnson said they should draft a receiver. Yes, they should.
Yes.
But what if they're all gone? Don't care. Take the next one. Jalen Hyatt, line it up.
Whoever it is.
I do not care who it is. Because you don't have a second-round pick. So if you don't take one in the first round, good luck.
Yeah, you get left with a whole lot of Rashee Rice.
oof. He wronged me at some point in the past life or something. His name, it just irks me.
It's because you started seeing people throw him into the back end of the first round on mock drafts, and you were like, okay, this is dumb.
Oh, well, the first time I saw that, I actually thought I had a stroke. I started checking my ear for blood, and I went, nope, I'm fine. I'm actually seeing what I'm seeing.
Right.
Yeah, for me, Minnesota, it's you take a receiver and ask questions later.
Mm-hmm. Worst thing you could do, though, Hendon Hooker. Sitting at your current spot, you reach for Hendon Hooker, and you go, I don't know that that's much different than you drafting Kellen Mond. I don't know that the end result's going to be much different.
I don't disagree with you. They're both system quarterbacks with some suspect parts to their. Now they're vehemently different prospects, but it could have a very similar end result.
Yep. At number 24, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
For me, I feel like Jacksonville is looking in all the wrong spots.
Okay.
They really seem to want a receiver, and I don't really understand why. Zay Jones is your 3 right now. I think you're just fine. Take Deontay Banks or Osiris Torrance. I know every Jaguar fan hated that. I can't for the life of me figure out why. You're the worst run blocking offensive line in the league. I'm giving you a Brian Haynes hog molly, and you just hated him. I don't get it, but I think that's your high side.
Okay.
But I'm afraid that Jordan Addison's name has been attached to them so many times. I really hope somebody takes him before they pick to keep them from doing it, because I feel like if he's there, they will.
But why would that be a disaster?
It's not a disaster. It's just stupid. So you've invested in Calvin Ridley. You've invested in Christian. How many receivers do you need? Because you're invested in Zay Jones, too. You have other holes on this team. So for me, I would be adding. And there's a lot of their fans that want to add a tight end, too, which I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting ready to commit long-term to Evan Ingram. Your GM just said it.
Right.
And so you want to have an Owen? Well, he doesn't block. Okay, then don't invest in him. How much money do you need tied up in pass catchers?
Apparently a lot. You got to get the most out of Trevor Lawrence.
I haven't broken this out a lot, and I can't wait to do this for the first time in public and scare a bunch of people that aren't paying attention. I really would like you to be able to run the damn ball, and you don't do that particularly well.
Worst possible scenarios for each team in the 2023 NFL Draft, which kicks off tomorrow night. When we come back from the break, it'll be time for the most important message of the day, and then we will continue down the draft board with the New York Giants.
Rain weather radar cruising up from the southwest. We're in the mid-40s tonight, and we've got several more days of this kind of weather. Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. I think more rains in the Sunday forecast. Showers tonight, 46. Showers tomorrow, 63. And scattered thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 74 degrees. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stop and go 240 eastbound between Amboy Road and US 1923 exit 3. 240 westbound light delays between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slowing approaching Long Shoals Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound in Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Checking the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound. Drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
You are invited to dinner with us. Hello, my name is Stan Asher, lead pastor of Connection Point. I want to invite you to come and find hope, encounter truth, and experience love. We invite you to join us every Wednesday evening, 6:15 p.m. for a free meal followed by small groups, life-relevant Bible studies for every age group at 7 p.m. We also have an exciting children's ministry. We are located at 142 Elk Mountain Road, Asheville, North Carolina, 28804. Check us out on the web to learn more at connectionpointcog.org. We'll be looking for you.
Welcome back to the quickest podcast ever, brought to you by Kohl's. Today's topic, Mother's Day. If our moms taught us anything, it's how to find a great deal.
So true. That's why I hit up Kohl's Friends and Family Sale. I saved 20% on gifts for my mom, like a pair of PJs. Plus, I got Nike sneakers and her favorite Sephora finds.
She's one lucky lady.
She deserves the world. Hopefully these gifts are the next best thing.
Great gifts and great savings. Your mom will be so proud.
Select styles. Offer ends April 30th. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
The siren song of the sea beckons with a bounteous treasure and a desire that must be fulfilled.
At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety from your local catch to flavors from around the world. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Yeah!
It is that time, ladies and gentlemen, in the Sportsocracy, each and every day of the 5 o'clock hour, where we bring you the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
And crimes were done in Georgia, where...
That's another state. You're having a nice run of states that we don't often talk about.
Right, I get sick of talking about Florida all of the time.
Well, because Florida does the most crimes, and they're very original.
This comes to us from Catoosa County, Georgia, where a man got a little upset the other day as he's riding down the road. He passes a school bus, or was behind a school bus, and one of the kids on the bus flipped them off to the kids shooting birds out of the bus, and this man loses his mind because the 55-year-old man, in a company truck, by the way, one of the witnesses said, "I don't know what Rollins Ranch is, but I wanted to make sure that this guy got a shout out for repping his business so well, I guess." He pulled the bus over and then blocked the bus from leaving as he demanded that the bus driver give him the name of the student who flipped him off and their address.
That's a bad call.
Would not move. Would not move. Parents started hearing that the bus was late, or I don't know how it happened. I guess because the bus driver called the supervisor and said, "Hey, there's a guy blocking the bus. He's demanding blah, 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 blah." Apparently, they then call the parents and tell them there's a problem. Parents start showing up to the scene, and this guy just starts getting it from all sides. He called the cops. He called the cops.
That was not right.
But for why? But for why are you such a sensitive man that an obscene gesture from a kid, an elementary school age kid, like this isn't like a high school bus, that hurts your feelings so bad?
You said this guy was 55 years old?
55 years old.
He seems awfully soft.
Bet
he voted for Biden. My story is from Boston, Massachusetts, and it sounds much worse than it is. A man named Armin Nair. He's 26 years old, and he was boarding a flight, Boston's Logan Airport. and he had a device on him. It's called a vampire straw. Do you know what a vampire straw is? Because I didn't. I had to Google it. You have any idea what that is?
No clue.
When we were kids, you remember that Capri Sun had that straw with the jagged edge so that you could get it down in the...
Puncture the pouch,
That's a vampire straw. That's what it means, is it has that little... that allows you to puncture things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this guy had a 10-inch long metal one that apparently comes in certain kinds of reusable cups. Well, according to the FAA, that is another in a long slew of things that you cannot carry upon an airplane.
100%.
It's a straw. I mean, I get it's a metal straw. They said it could be used as a dagger.
Absolutely.
First of all, I saw this man's mugshot. If that dude had tried to use that straw on me, I would have laughed, and then I would have done crimes.
I'm just not allowing
There's enough fluff on me that's not even going to get to a major artery, let alone an organ.
Oh, come on. He stabs that in your carotid and just bleeds you out in the bathroom.
This dude makes you look like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So I don't think that was the way that was going to go.
You never know.
He apparently caused a scene, and this led the FAA to put out an alert that this is another thing that you're not allowed to carry on airplanes. I almost had not like this. My addition to my bag was not as nefarious potentially as a vampire straw.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have an uncomfortable a TSA interaction one time.
Really?
It was over a bottle of shampoo.
Mm-hmm.
It was too big.
Yep, that'll do it.
By like 4 ounces. Like, what am I going to do? Blind the pilot with it's shampoo.
They don't know that. You could have put anything in there.
Oh, yeah. Do I look like a man that's coming up with creative ways to blow things up?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Probably got a point.
I mean, you ever research Oklahoma City? You definitely belong to that group.
I was about to say, Timothy McVeigh looked nothing like me.
Oh, no, you definitely belong to that group, though.
No. I mean, I don't trust. I have a healthy fear of the government, if that's what you mean, but I think we all should.
What cult was that? That was tied to that you were so obsessed with?
That was
Ruby Ridge.
Ruby Ridge.
Ruby Ridge. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely see you're one of those. Mr. Birds aren't real.
That's a living off the land. Do I look like somebody that can kill my own food? Okay, maybe I look like somebody that can kill my own food. Am I somebody that can do that? No.
No.
For me, roughing it is staying at a Motel 6. So, that's not me.
Worst possible moves your team could make in the NFL draft. Jacksonville Jaguars. We talked about them. Wide receivers, probably not the best scenario for you. Wide receiver, though, should be the scenario, my opinion, for the New York Football Giants.
They have a lot.
But are any of them good?
I mean, I like Sterling Shepard. I like Darius Slayton. But I don't know. I'm not as confident that they're taking receiver as everybody else. I think if a corner falls, don't be shocked if that's what they do.
Okay.
Deonte Banks is a name I hear a lot. For me, as long as it's a corner or a wide receiver, I don't really care. And it could be a tight end, I guess, if it's one that can block. If it's Michael Mayer.
What's the one that would make you chuckle?
Dalton Kincaid. Hey, we have 2 tight ends, and neither one of them could block a 6-year-old. Awesome. All right, there you go. Dalton Kincaid. That's and I don't think he'll be there, but if he was, that's the bad one. That's the pass catcher that, don't do that.
Don't need him to block. I need him to catch passes.
Well, you got 2 tight ends now. Then neither one of them can do it. That's a bad call.
How about the Dallas Cowboys?
Anybody not named Michael Mayer, because I don't think I've ever been as confident in my life of a pick in the 20s as I am that one. With what Mike McCarthy wants to do, you really need that all-around tight end, and the shade on him is just comical to me. Well, he only ran a 4.7. I don't need him to run a 4.4. I got guys for that. And I've also heard that they're a low-key spot on Jackson Smith and Jigba, which I would not love either. I think you're fine at receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I need a tight end because Jake Ferguson's not making me feel all warm and fuzzy. Go get Michael Mayer. We'll address the rest of the draft as we go.
Okay. So anyone not named Michael Mayer would be the worst decision that the Dallas Cowboys can make in round 1.
If they were to pass on Mayer, it would. I'm going to need you to explain that to me.
Buffalo Bills at 27.
You're not going to like this answer. Taking a running back. They've been attached to Jahmyr Gibbs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wrapping that much capital up in this. I think James Cook is fine. You either need a corner or an offensive lineman because, you remember the last game they played, right, where they couldn't stop Cincinnati from getting out of their backfield?
Mm-hmm.
I swear to you, they were in Buffalo's backfield so often that I thought they were going to set up tents back there and petition the city of Asheville that they should be allowed to live there. I'm on a roll today. No politics. I get it. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'll keep doing it. You know why? Because my name's on the door. Mm-hmm. I keep hearing them attached to things that aren't offensive linemen, and to me, that is dumb. You need somebody that can stop pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like Cincinnati just wrote the book on you, and if you don't do something to fix it, you're in trouble.
Third most popular selection, according to Mock Draft Database for the Buffalo Bills pick, Zay Flowers.
Wouldn't hate that. I would greatly prefer an offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's where, like, say Osiris Torrance is on the board. He falls there.
He's the most popular, by the way.
I was about no shot that I let him pass.
No
way.
No.
I don't care who's on the board.
Yeah.
I don't care if Zay Flowers is out there. Frankly, I don't care if Bijan Robinson was on the board. I'm taking Osiris Torrance.
At number 28, that's the Cincinnati Bengals pick.
Getting cute with somebody in the secondary. You have a lot of good young talent in the back half.
Mm-hmm.
The Lyle Collins thing is making me nervous. I did not shoehorn a tackle into them. There was not one on the board because the last tackle that I could physically stomach putting in the first round went right in front of them. So, I'm okay at running back. I'm okay with a linebacker. I'm okay with a right tackle. DeJuan Jones is one that I felt pretty good about right there. Just don't add another young kid to the secondary. If you want to add something, go get a veteran because you need one badly. But you got to think, you've got Daxton Hill. You've got Cam Taylor-Britt that you drafted last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want another young guy back there. This team's too good. This is too important. Your pass rush is too good. Soaring Eagle said, just take Jahmyr Gibbs and move on. I cannot fault you there.
Yep.
That is a formidable way of putting one line on something and rolling on.
Number 29, the New Orleans Saints.
This has to be a defensive tackle. And I feel like you're probably going to have carte blanche of whichever one you want, so you pick your poison.
Mm-hmm.
And when you figure out that it's Kalijah Cansey, you call me and tell me I was right.
Well, what's the worst? Brian Brise?
No. They could do worse than that. Trying to shoehorn one of these guards to replace Ruiz or because you can find that later. New Orleans, you got this. This is like water from the desert that you got for a coach that wasn't coaching your team anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's making up for a mistake that you made last year trading up for Trevor Penning. So we're going to do this again. Edge rusher is another thing I don't want to see him do. I've seen you do that. Go get a defensive tackle. Call it good. Or you could also take a quarterback that shouldn't be drafted. So don't do that either. I'll never let them live down taking a hit book. If I do this until I am 80 years old, I will still be mentioning when New Orleans took Ian Book.
This is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. What are the worst moves the teams can make in the 2023 NFL Draft? We'll wrap it up next. We'll be right back.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 240 eastbound between Brevard Road and US 1923 exit 3. 240 westbound slow between Chuns Cove Road and exit 4A. 26 westbound light delays approaching Long Shoals Road. 26 eastbound light delays between Brevard Road and the French Broad River. 40 westbound Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. On Meadow Road and Amboy Road, traffic volume is very busy. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Ricardo, quote, "This is one of the greatest inventions ever. I know this may sound like I'm exaggerating, but this sucker is amazing. The first time I did it, I couldn't believe what came out of my sinuses. I could breathe with ease. My wife just bought one too. Thank you for this product," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
It's Elliot in the morning. Rod Ryan Show, check it in. It's The Woody Show.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
The 2023 iHeartRadio Music Awards.
All of the best free curated playlists.
All the rock for all the people.
All of the great podcasts for every interest.
This is Freddie Prinze Jr. from the Wrestling with Freddie podcast.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome.
All of your favorite superstars.
It's Pete from Fall Out Boy.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
It is the final live moments of the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville before the start of the 2023 NFL Draft. Tomorrow, we will have a program on 4 to 6. It will be the final Flostradamus mock draft. That will be pre-recorded.
We had to get the mock draft in by noon today. So there's no adjustments. It is what it is.
4 to 6 tomorrow on ESPN Asheville and on the YouTube stream. And then we will, of course, be live for every pick of the NFL Draft tomorrow night, live from the Village Porch, 51 North Merriman Avenue, and also on Friday night as well. And we will be doing the show live, the first round reaction show, and the plan forward for the rest of the draft. We'll be doing that show live from the Village Porch as well on Friday.
I will have a second and third round mock draft that goes up on our website at 10 a.m. on Friday. If you're curious what your team could do, that's what you did in the first round.
All right, worst possible picks for the teams in the NFL Draft. Well, Philadelphia's got the 30th pick. And there's not really, how can they punt that?
There's an offensive lineman that could fall there. That you want to talk about A++ mock draft? There's a name. We will talk about the mock draft tomorrow that Philadelphia could take at the end of the first round, and we'd all just sit back and laugh and go, how do you keep doing this? That's my one-liner on the second pick from Philadelphia.
Yep. And then the final pick of the first round, the Kansas City Chiefs.
I am pretty much of the belief that Kansas City has two tacks. They're either going to make sure they get Zay Flowers, because I've heard they're in love with him, or they're going to take the best pass rusher on the board right there at the end of the first round. And they're kind of open for business if a team wanted to trade up to get, if Hendon Hooker was still on the board, to get that fifth-year option. Any of that, totally fine. And I that's another one. You have so many potential outcomes here. I don't really think you have there's nothing you can do where I'm going to go, oh, unless you do the Chris Collinsworth thing. If they take Hendon Hooker, then yes, I will give them an F.
That was a Chris Collinsworth special.
Also, how in the world does Chris Collinsworth work in this sport? It dumbfounds me. It's super nice guy from what I've heard. He works real hard, but then he says things like that are really stupid.
All right, 5 teams that don't have first-round draft picks.
We'll do the Rams, and then we have a super chat on another one of the teams. For the Rams, you just got to take the best player on the board. I feel like an edge rusher is going to be – I feel like that's high on the list. If somehow Jahmyr Gibbs fell to you, you just – that's another one. Take the best player on the board and keep going. We have a super chat on the Denver Broncos. I unfortunately do not have the Huckleberry drop today. Yeah! There it is. It's from Soaring Eagle that said the mistake for the Denver Broncos is taking anybody not named Luke Whippler. I don't believe he's going to get to your pick, but if he does, I'll agree with you wholeheartedly. That's another position that could see a run.
Center.
With Pittman, Schmitz, Whippler, and Oluwatimi. It's okay. I've been screaming it for long enough, and it seems like it's gaining a little bit of steam here late in the process.
All right.
Which I'm very happy about.
Right. You got that first pick at 67 for the Denver Broncos. So if there's one there, sure, you should take one. All right.
The other teams, and I'll just do a quick 20 seconds on each one.
Okay.
Cleveland Browns, don't think just because you added one-year solutions to problems that means you're done. So if you get a shot at a Gervon Dexter or somebody like that, but we got Dalvin Top, that's fine. We're thinking long-term here, okay? That's what happens when you don't pick until the third round. You get your picks back next year. So another best player available. Denver, I would agree with Soaring Eagle. If one of these high-end interior offensive linemen fall, you go there. I would also love to see an edge rusher. And Miami, you cannot come away from this without a tight end. So if you do anything but that, if there's one with a pulse on the board, you did it wrong.
And what about the San Francisco 49ers?
Well, I mean, they don't pick until there's 3 digits in their second pick, and it's 1 pick after their first one. So no kickers. Kickers aren't people. Always remember that.
Regardless of that or anything other than that, you can probably
maybe don't take another quarterback.
Yeah, you definitely don't need that. Jake Hayner. I'm good.
Hit your button one more time because we got another one of those from our buddy Evan Doyle. Yeah! He had to run, but there's a question that's going to be up on our social medias going into tomorrow. We're going to be on the social medias interacting, answering questions, things like that. Who would you love to have announce a pick for your team? I think it's a really interesting question. Just hear who would be your favorite person to announce the pick.
Okay. I think off the top of my head, it'd probably be Warren.
Lavernius Coles. It's my favorite Jet that nobody ever talks about.
Drunk Warren Sapp. That's the one I want.
Oh, no. You know what? Favorite person to announce a pick for the New York Jets?
Yep.
Jeremy Greene. Would be my favorite of all time.
Of course.
And I'm telling you right now, you think Pat McAfee's was good? I'll show up dressed like Randy Macho Man Savage, and everything I'm wearing is green. I'm telling you right now, I will find I don't know who would wax all of this, but I'll find somebody. There it was.
Stop that.
There it is. Look, I am a real American.
This is the Sportsocracy. We don't need any more of that. Thank God the show is over.
It's draft baby!
It is Draftmas time. We will have the Draftmas Day special, final mock draft, first round tomorrow, 4 to 6. And then, of course, join us on the YouTube stream for every pick of the NFL Draft live. We will see you then.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Rain on weather radar cruising up from the southwest. We're in the mid-40s tonight, and we've got several more days of this kind of weather. Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. I think more rains in the Sunday forecast. Showers tonight, 46. Showers tomorrow, 63. And scattered thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 74 degrees. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is crawling 240 eastbound between Brevard Road and US 1923 exit 3. Due to an accident, the left lane is blocked. 26 east and westbound is slowing near the French Broad River. Haywood County 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound near Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lee Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
Sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com, and I sell custom blinds designed for do-it-yourselfers. Unlike stock blinds offered at big box retailers, Blindster blinds are custom made for your windows and shipping is free. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
Fuel your future at Firehouse Subs. We're locally owned and offer the best in hearty food and heartfelt service. Hiring for the Patton Avenue, Weaverville, Airport Road, Tunnel Road, and Cherokee locations. Apply in person. Firehouse Subs, equal opportunity employer.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.